Alrighty, hello. No sense putting this off any longer than I have to. I think the ads are over. Welcome in, everybody. I'm gonna be drawing human faces today. So it's been like a week or two since we've done a human study, so maybe less than a week. I can't remember. Maybe it was last Wednesday. I don't know. What is time? But either way, we're gonna be doing it today. I try to work these in every once in a while, at least twice a month, but ideally more, because I need to focus on getting better at people. I want to start implementing some more character design stuff, because that's really something I personally want to work on a lot more this year. So I might share some ideas about like special stream event things that we could do involving that. But welcome in, everyone. I hope everyone is having a good day, and happy Wednesday, I think it is. Yeah, Wednesday. Time is all blurring together for me lately. I have been homebound for over a week and because I don't have a car. Although, for anyone who isn't in the Discord and didn't see the notice, I am gonna go get my car today. My car, they told me yesterday it was done, yesterday afternoon. I didn't have time to get there because they close at 5 and I couldn't get a ride before the end. They told me at like 3. And I thought I'd be cutting it close if I tried to take public transit, and I didn't want to be stranded out there because they stop running early. So anyway, I'm doing it today. Was gonna go get it this morning before stream because I was up at like 7. I was like, well, maybe I could do it, but I just don't trust our local buses very much. And I kind of want to run some errands and just do that while I'm out. So I think I'll just do that. I'll do it after stream. So I'm not gonna go for super long today. I'm gonna try and keep it to like an hour just so that I have time to go and get my car, run some errands, and hopefully make it to the studio today at some point, and maybe get some work done finally in the studio. So I'm excited about that. But yeah, hope everybody is doing well. Need to give me a moped. Amaze was very concerned about giving me alternative wheels. I appreciate the concern. A moped I don't think is super practical for the mountains. However, an e-bike would probably be good. They had a program in Denver where you could get a free e-bike for like certain things, but apparently it's only valid in Denver city limits. So because I live on the western side of Denver, but I'm not actually in Denver. I'm in a different city. So it's a bummer. I do have some rollerblades, germs, but also not super practical for the mountains where I live. I would probably die trying to do rollerblades. You love my little doom doodle? Yeah, that's how I feel about anytime I have to draw humans. I just kind of like this deep dread of, oh, I'm not proficient at this, but hopefully I can become proficient. You have an e-bike. Nice. Yeah, that exactly. I think they're a little better at managing. Mopeds are more for like if you live in the city and you're driving on flat surfaces a lot, I think. But yeah, I think an e-bike, if I were to get some kind of bike for going up and down mountains, I think an e-bike would be more practical. I do have a bicycle, but it's just a regular bike, and I have no interest in pedaling up mountains and down mountains on my bicycle, so yeah, a hilly area. I live in hilly, to say the least. Mountainy is a little more my type of area. But yeah, to like get anywhere within reason, I have to go over mountains basically. So, which I'm not complaining. I love the mountains, but it's not the most public transit or like non-car transit ease of access type of place to live, which is why I haven't made it to the studio in over a week. So but I'm really glad that I am not going to be stuck out of the studio for much longer. I was anticipating 2 weeks. It's been a little over. It's been like a week and a day since I've been able to get to. Actually, it's been a little over that because I didn't go on Tuesday last week. Anyway, sorry, I'm still kind of waking up. I had a little bit of caffeine this morning, so if I'm extra rambly today, that's why. Let me scroll up and say hi to everybody, and then we're going to get started. For anyone who hasn't been here before, if you want to participate, we show everyone's sketches at the end, so if you would like to be a part of the show and tell at the end, feel free to drop your studies, as long as they're work safe and as long as they're drawn from observation. If you're drawing more from imagination, we have other channels for that in the Discord. Just make sure you check out the pins if you're confused. But yeah, if you're following a tutorial, if you're drawing from observation, if you're doing anything that's like foundational art stuff, even if it's something simple like boxes. Like, we want to encourage each other to do the foundational stuff, to do the hard work of improving your craft, which is typically not most artists' favorite thing to do. I know for myself, I don't super extra like go out of my way to do this typically, which is why I'm streaming it, especially with something like this. When I'm doing human stuff, or when I'm doing like, you know, architecture or vehicles, or just like stuff that I don't draw often, I need the accountability. So thank you for being here, for being my accountability buddies. Even if you're just lurking, you don't even have to say hi in chat. I just know that I really appreciate you being here. It does keep me on task, and it keeps me having to do the studies that I know I need to do to make me better. And if that sounds like something you would be interested in, you're welcome to join in. Don't even feel like you have to share your sketches. You know, if I'm the only one who draws today, that's okay. I just open the door to invite people to share their studies if they want to. And the whole idea is, again, that we can just encourage each other and inspire each other to do more studies and to be, you know, doing the art workout, right? That's why we call it the art gym. It's kind of like how you need an accountability buddy to go to the gym. Same concept here with the art gym. So that's my little spiel about what we're here for. I may repeat that later if we have more people come in, but yeah, I'm trying to be better about like saying all that up front. Just because I know sometimes we have new folks, and maybe they don't know what's going on. Normally I stream in the afternoons as well on Mondays and Wednesdays, but right now I can't get to the studio right now to do it, and I'm having a ton of tech issues, so my afternoon streams are on pause for a little bit. I'm hoping by the end of the month I can get everything sorted, but we'll just see how much time I have to do all of the research and troubleshooting that I need to do to fix the internet, to fix OBS, and to fix my PC crashing randomly, which I don't know why it's happening. So if anyone's techie, let me know. I'd be happy to send you the spec. Actually, I don't have to send you the specs. I think I wrote them down. I think they're in the chat. Anyway, let me scroll up and say hi, and we'll get started. Blackaholic, hey, how's it going? Glad you're enjoying the music. Animes, howdy, thanks for being here, appreciate ya. You get your camera tomorrow. Nice, Bach. That's exciting. Can't wait to see some photos from you, if you feel like sharing. We do have, for anyone who's not in the Discord, we do have like a pic share section for like images and photos and stuff. So yeah, if you want to come hang out and share things, there's a great place. I think it's a good place anyway. I really appreciate everybody who hangs out in there with me. Sona Art, hey, we're good to see you. We are drawing people, I know. Wild, right? Doesn't happen often around here, but I do try to incorporate people and objects and things that I don't draw often into these art gyms, so that there's good variety. But welcome in, it's good to see you. Rayor, hey, welcome back. I am well. I'm a little sleepy. Had trouble falling asleep again last night. I think it was because I didn't really exercise as much as I should have, so I'm gonna be walking to the bus to like go to the place that is, there's like a stop like 4 blocks from where my car is, so I'll be doing a little bit of walking today, so I'm hoping that'll wear me out enough to fall asleep tonight. I also have a bunch of errands to run, so maybe I'll lift some heavy objects or something today. I do need to load up my car and drop some stuff off at the studio, so we'll see. Hopefully I sleep better tonight. But other than that, I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. Hope you're well too. Danish Viking, howdy. Biscuit, hey. Good to see everybody. Germs. Freedom indeed. Yeah, I can't wait. Let's see. Scrolling. Hey Neil, how are you? Thanks for popping in. I appreciate having you here. Collage of nose pictures makes me imagine a grotesque RP. It's true. It can look a little creepy, I bet. Yeah. Well, my hope is to kind of break all these things down into like planes. We'll talk about the planes of the face a little bit, and I don't know, I might even do some like draw overs just to kind of practice the motions of things. I do want to find more variety. These are just some images I quickly grabbed off of Pinterest. If anyone needs references for the human face, you can click up at the top of chat. I have like a human anatomy folder. You can kind of pick and choose what you'd like to study. If you don't want to do faces, that's totally fine, but I did try to pin like there's like ears, eyes, nose, mouth, like parts of the human face in there, and there's also plenty of like planar studies if you want to follow along with those. There's tons of tutorials and things online too if you'd rather follow a tutorial as you draw along, so yeah, but if anyone needs references to start them off, I've got some up in my Pinterest board there. Yamina, hey, you are crocheting today. Aw, well thank you for listening and hanging out while you crochet. I'm honored. Let's see. Oh, gratitude jar. Yeah, let's start off with some gratitude. NFT screen shooter. Hey, I think I saw you in Chris Wright's chat last night. Are you this? I think like you were there. I can't remember. Welcome in. Is it NFT or Nifty? I don't want to say the name wrong, but welcome in. Good to have you. You always want to bring gratitude to stream. Pioneer, I appreciate that. Thank you, thank you. Thank you for helping me get that done. Yeah, how are you? It's good to see you. Rue, hey, good to see you too. Okay, let me grab the gratitude jar. We'll talk about that, and then we'll get started. If you want to get started without me, don't feel like you have to wait. And don't feel like you have to use my references either. This is kind of like an open, just accountability session to do some studies. So heck, even just look around you and draw something you see. That will be helpful. You know, I always encourage that, honestly, over everything else. If I had another person here, I'd ask them to hold still so I could draw their nose, but I don't. And very few people are that patient, especially while streaming. So, but if you're in a place where you can do that, if you're in a coffee shop or a library or school, like draw the people. I mean, if you're in school, you should probably be paying attention to your teacher, says the ex-teacher. But if you are listening at school, you've probably got some fellow classmates around you that you could sneakily sketch. So all that stuff is super helpful, and it's going to make you improve like 20 times faster. So, okay, let me grab my gratitude jar, and then we'll get started. 1 second. I will be right back. Alright, here is the gratitude jar. I keep it in my bedroom. Since I'm streaming from home for warm-up streams lately, it's easy to just grab this. I should probably just leave it here. Honestly, I don't know why I keep putting it away. I feel like I haven't really put anything in there except for when you guys tell me to, so maybe I'll just keep it here for a little bit. I probably see it more obviously here than I would in my bedroom anyway. Ideas. So here's the gratitude jar. Here's how it works. For anyone who hasn't seen it before, I guess I could like make it bigger. I always hate putting my my stream on full screen camera though, because sometimes I forget to take it off. There it is. So anyway, this is the gratitude jar. I keep it kind of by my door in my bedroom typically, because I'm not often working from home as much, but the idea with it is like throughout the year you write down, like I keep this little slip of paper jar here, a little pencil, and basically every time I see it, I'm supposed to, in theory, grab a piece of paper and write down something I'm thankful for. And then at the end of the year, on New Year's Eve, my tradition is to open it and kind of go over things that happened that year to make me grateful. So it's kind of cheesy, but I think it really helps, yeah, just kind of reflect positively on the year and focus on good things that have happened, because as most of you probably know, our brains are just wired to focus on the negative. It's like a survival instinct. And so I'm trying to overcome that by being intentional about focusing on positive things. So thank you for helping me do that. Oh, and of course I have to show you guys my little duck. It's tradition. We're gonna look at this cute duck. It lives on my pencil. I cannot remember where I got this, but I love it. It makes me so happy. So there's the duck. Okay. So today is 3/19/25. I'm grateful. Oh, I'm grateful my car. Yeah, grateful my car got out of the shop a week early. Yeah, very excited about that. Alright, there's my gratitude entry for today. So thank you. Here, car and shops, I'm naturally curious. Yeah, yeah, it's silly. It's so silly. So anyway, I put it in the gratitude jar like so, sealed up, and then I will not open this or read it again until New Year's Eve. So it's just, like I said, just a way to kind of keep track of things. It doesn't have to be like big stuff. I think yesterday my gratitude jar entry was that I got a good night's sleep. It's been a while. It's been a couple weeks since I've gotten a good night's sleep. So it doesn't have to be like big life-changing events. Like it could just be something as simple as I learned a new recipe, or I got to spend time with a friend. Like any of that kind of stuff. I think the more you put in here, by the end of the year, it's really nice to look in there and be like, oh, there's so much stuff I had happen this year that was really nice. And sometimes you read things and you're like, oh, I totally forgot that happened. And it's just a positive way to end the year. So highly recommend doing it if anybody is looking for a way to be more grateful in 2025. You want to hear about the silly? it's a silly story. Like, basically, I was airing up my tire. I had to air up my tire. Had the low tire pressure light come on one day, like last year. I think it was like last summer, maybe spring. It was a while ago, and it was a super windy day, like gusts between 45 and 80 miles per hour, like super like windy front coming down the mountains kind of a day. But I was worried that something was wrong. Like, I've never seen the tire pressure thing go off, so I was like, well, I should probably take care of it. And so I went to a gas station, I opened my door to get the tire pressure gauge, and then the wind caught my door and just like slammed it into this concrete pillar that was like next to the tire airing station, and it like dented the door. It was really only like this big, and it kind of like bent the door in a little bit on the edge, but it could still shut and like lock. Like, it was just a cosmetic thing, and it was only this big, so I was like, oh, I'll look into maybe like fixing it myself, or I'll have to check with insurance. And I just kind of put it off because I ended up finding out that it was going to be like $1,500 to fix it, and then later have to replace the door. It ended up being more than that. It ended up being like $3,000, which is a lot in my opinion, but whatever. But I have car insurance, and my deductible was only $100, so my car insurance paid for it. I just knew I'd be without a car for a while, and so I didn't have a good opportunity to be without a car until right now, basically. So it's just silly that something that small could cause that much in repair, but I didn't want the door to get rusted. It was already starting to rust because it's been a while and we get rain and snow here, so. Anyway, I was tempted to just like buff it out and paint over it and like use my heat gun to like move it myself and DIY fix it, but since my insurance covered it and DIYing it would have cost about $100 anyway, and time, so I just kind of decided it would be better to take it in. Anyway, let's get drawing. Grateful I'm not currying the cloud of mustard yet. There you go. Quackitude. I like it. I like it, germs. It's easy to come up with things to be grateful for. Yeah, you totally can. Absolutely. Proper body repair is expensive. I got my degree in fixing stuff like that. Oh, really? And you almost lost your door in Indiana? Oh, no. So you work on, you're like mechanical? That's cool. I'll keep that in mind if I ever have questions, honestly. Alright, so I'm gonna start with, I should probably do the whole face, but I think I'm just gonna warm up by quickly sketching some of these, and then we'll do planes of the face. Feel free to go in any order. I've got a whole bunch of rough here. I just kind of pulled some up really fast. But yeah, I sort of just want to focus on shape. So something that you can do if you are kind of, especially if you're newer to drawing, but even if you're not, I feel like a practice that gets overlooked a lot is just simply like the muscle memory of shapes, right? So like there's nothing wrong with like quickly tracing over something just to get a feel for like how things are moving, like how the lip gets caught here in the teeth, or just like some of the way the creases look by the mouth. Like kind of tracing over the shapes is not a terrible idea, especially if you're just kind of getting familiar with how structures are. But I wouldn't rely solely on tracing. So just use it as a tool, but not a crutch, I guess. So consider doing that if you're trying to figure out a place to start. Sometimes just getting your arm moving and the lines and the shapes that you need to make will help you kind of get started. So I'm just going to, like I said, quickly sketch out these shapes. Oh boy, I'm rusty as heck. This is what happens when you're tired and you try to draw things. Oh, that's terrible. Like I always say, guys, we're here to get the bad drawings out, so don't feel bad if your drawings are not up to par. You did life drawing for 6 hours today, Biscuit. That's awesome. Man, I wish I could do a life drawing class again. I really, I know I say this a lot, but I really miss life drawing, like, a lot. Oh, maybe starting off with the mouth is not the way to go. I think I need to work on big shapes first. Let's start with planes of the face. I changed my mind. This is something I'm clearly not ready for. It just looks terrible. We'll come back to this. I'm gonna zoom out and do the face actually to get myself oriented. Where's my planes of the face picture? Here's one we haven't used before. But yeah, life drawing is definitely the better way to go. So you can find lots of these type of planes of the face head models out there on the internet. I'm just gonna do a couple of these. But they're very helpful for, like, there's some, I think I have one pinned in my Pinterest on these in the study section of the human folder. There's one where you can actually adjust the lighting on a model, like in 3D, and you can make the lighting however you want. I know things like Clip Studio actually have built-in models like this too, so if you're working in Clip Studio, you should be able to go use that yourself. But standing positions are hard. Like, everything is harder when you're drawing from life, but you're gonna learn so much more, I think. And being able to study the body holistically and actually look at how somebody is moving or how shadows are affecting, like, in-person skin texture, that kind of thing, it's just gonna help you so much more. I really do wish I could find the time and the money to take a figure drawing class, or to go in with some local artists on a model and just practice that kind of stuff. But alas, alack, what can you do? So I'm trying to focus on the planes and think about this as a 3D object rather than something I'm copying. So something we talk about a lot here is studying versus copying. Studying is like asking yourself questions, like thinking about what you're drawing, asking yourself why things are looking a certain way. Try not to think of it as I'm copying lines, and try instead to, like, you know, draw your big shapes first, which I struggle with. I sometimes get, like I just did, kind of get a little too involved in details too quickly. I feel like getting involved in details too quickly is the fastest way to be super disappointed with your art. So if you want to not like what you draw, then jump into the details right away. If you want to actually learn and kind of file stuff away for future use in your creative bank account, then don't do that. See, I ended up drawing the mouth in the wrong place, or the nose in the wrong place, because I didn't draw my proportions first. This is an easy thing to do. I say the most accurate things, do I? Sometimes. If you catch me on a good day, maybe. Pioneer. Yeah. It's amazing how much getting the nose right brings a face together. Yeah, it's true. The nose is a pretty central feature. Yeah. Yeah. And I think it's helpful to see it all in its place. Like, just seeing it isolated in these ways kind of makes it harder to, I don't know, especially I need to warm up before I get to the mouth. It turns out the mouth is pretty complicated. And these pictures might be a little too close too, because I can't really see the cheek muscles or like all the things that change about the mouth. So maybe this is just not the picture I should be using. I don't know. I'll think about it some more. Planes are better than lines, yes. Yeah, greater than lines, yes. Lines are, like, if you find yourself doing a lot of outlining or a lot of, like, small detail work, just know that you're increasing the odds of being dissatisfied at the end. And it's kind of up to you how you want to do it. I mean, do what you want, obviously, but I feel like, for me anyway, I've just learned that I can either fight an uphill battle or I can practice the basics and make good habits. Practice makes permanent, as we were talking about yesterday. It makes perfect, but it also makes permanent. So if you're practicing imperfectly, you're gonna have permanent damage done, right? So make sure that you're practicing well so that you don't develop bad habits. Like me. Yeah, so please don't misunderstand anybody. I'm not saying lines are bad. I'm saying when you're doing studies, if you jump into line only without shape, you're more likely to end up with a disproportionate drawing that you don't like. Starting with getting your proportions is the better, in my opinion, way to study, because it's going to help you reinforce how things are actually supposed to look in relation to each other. A lot of times when people jump straight into line when they're doing a study, what they end up doing is outlining, basically. You start accidentally copying. That's all I'm trying to say. So, like, this would be like starting with line. It's like, okay, that's a contour line drawing, but doing that is going to make it a lot harder for me to actually make sure my proportions are correct, and I'll end up with a wonkier shape. That's all I'm trying to say. Hey Isel, how's it going? Good to see ya. Welcome in, welcome in. Positive news. Oh yeah, we should do a positive news. I keep referring to the basics, but what are the basics? That's a great question, Yamina. You're never taught how to draw, you just kind of jumped in feet first. Yeah, I think you're not alone in that. I mean, I feel like the basics are like fundamental foundational art things like value, shape, color, perspective, form. So a great place to start, I should probably make a command for this because we talk about it a lot, but a great place to start if you just want to like go back to the foundational basics of how to draw, even like this is good for people at any skill level, like I want to do this. But there's this great website this artist made, I forget the name of the artist, but it's called drawabox.com. It literally starts you back with like shape, perspective, even like line type, all of that stuff, and just like practicing even motor skills stuff at the very beginning, and then working up your way toward understanding value, understanding perspective, understanding form. These are the things that all artists need to revisit every once in a while, but especially if you're a beginning artist, it's best to start that way if you want to progress more quickly. If you want to make bad habits and then end up having to unlearn them like I did, then just, keep copying anime or keep copying Disney, or keep copying whatever. But I personally have had to unlearn a lot of bad habits that I put into place when I was younger, doing exactly what you're doing, just like jumping in, drawing however you want. And yeah, exactly. Yeah, experimentation is good, but I think it depends on your level too. Like, experimenting is fun, but if you don't know the basics of how to draw, it can, like I said, I don't know. It depends on your end goal too. Like if all you want to make is abstract art, you do whatever you want. But if you want to be able to like make your own characters, draw from imagination, like do world building, which a lot of people, at least a lot of people in online art circles, tend to want to do. I think it is really important to start with foundations first. And even for me, like I've been drawing for a long time, but coming back to the basics and just doing a head study is important for me because I do a lot of creatures. I'm more comfortable drawing animals than I am people, and I'm trying to fix that. But I know in order to fix it well, I'm gonna have to unlearn my schema of drawing a human and like relearn actual proportions. So this is not a style, this is a study. My best example of style versus schema, I guess, is like a style is something you're choosing to do, whereas a study is like practice, whereas a schema is like just your default way of drawing without thinking. And a good example of intentional style that I like to use is Picasso. So Picasso chose a style, right? He chose Cubism. But if you look at his actual drawing, he was a great draftsman. Like he could draw stuff. Like he was really good at observational drawing, at structural drawing. Like his drawings are technically very proficient. He chose to work in a style. If you're not choosing it, if you only know how to draw in like an anime style or a Marvel style or whatever style, that's not really a choice so much as a schema, and that's the best way I know how to explain it. And schemas can be dangerous. That's the practice makes permanent problem, I think. Anyway, at least it has been for me. Of course, I'm only speaking from my experience. Please don't anybody take anything I'm saying as like gospel. Like, I'm just here trying to learn. I'm not a pro. I always say that like every stream. I'm just like here trying to make myself draw stuff. So, take it all with a grain of salt. But at least that's been my experience. My personal schema has been very hard to break, and I'm trying to go back to the basics to break it. And if that's you, then foundational drawing is maybe something that would help. Hopefully, I don't know. Hopefully that answered whatever we were talking about. Hey Beckman, how are you? It's good to see you. Hope you're doing well. I'm behind in chat somehow. Yep, time to start from square one. Yeah, and you know what? It's never a bad time to start from square one. Picasso ticks you off. Why is that? I used to not like Picasso when I was younger, but I've come to appreciate the intentionality behind what he does. I'm not gonna like go buy a print or anything, but I think it helped me knowing that that it was an intentional choice rather than just like him not knowing how to draw and trying to cover it up, which is what I thought he was doing when I was a kid. So, hey Blue Wolf, how you doing? Good to see you. I snuck in here. I think I missed you coming in. Hope you're doing well. Okay, I don't know how I got behind on chat. Let me go to the bottom here. You're gonna call cheesy baloney? I don't know. I don't feel like a pro pioneer. I don't know if I'll feel like a pro until I can, I don't know, like, I don't know actually. When will I feel like a pro? I'll think about that for a minute. When will you feel like a pro, chat? Because I know some of that is just like artist imposter syndrome or whatever, but I think once I'm able, or if I'm ever able to like work full time again and actually like pay for everything I need to pay for, I think then I will feel like a pro. Right now I have a day job, which I don't want that to sound like I think that means anybody who has that is less of an artist. That's just a personal goal for me, is to be able to be self-sufficient. It's what I came out here to do, and it's like a goal I've had for many years. So I think once I'm closer to achieving that, I'll start feeling more pro, maybe. Question of the century. I have no idea what it will take. Yeah, I know, right? I'm trying to like quantify it now, because I also know people who are pros, like actual, like work in the game industry or the animation industry, like fully fund their lifestyle with art, work freelance full-time, do conventions full-time. Most of them I don't think feel like pros either. So I think there is this like, there's like this fire under all artists where you just always feel like you could be doing a little bit better. And so it's really hard to ever feel like you've arrived, I think, in art. And I'm sure that's true in a lot of fields, but I don't know. When will I feel like a pro? I'm gonna have to think about that. Yeah, so we've had this conversation before, Bickman. Like, I don't mean professional as in getting paid to do something. I guess I mean like pro as in proficient, or like knows what I'm doing, maybe. And that's the part that's what I mean when I say I don't feel pro. I've been paid to do art since I was like in high school, but I think that's true for a lot of people. Like, if you babysat on the weekends as a high schooler and you got paid to do that, and then you never did it again, would you say you're a pro babysitter? I don't know. It's a weird question, maybe. I think for me, in my head, it's like tangled up with proficiency, not necessarily being paid. You still don't like Picasso? You had to study way too much of his paintings in art history. That's fair. Yeah, art history does kind of have this really bad habit of killing, in a way, the interesting things about the history of art. Because you end up studying like the same 20 artists, at least in the US. I don't know about other places, but he knew all of the rules and then broke them. Yeah, and that's what I think I've learned to appreciate. Obviously, like, looking back with like how far art has come, it's easy to think, oh, this is kind of blah. But like for the time, I can also appreciate contextually what he was trying to do. And so like I appreciate it conceptually. I'm not gonna say I'm like a huge Picasso fan, but I do like using him as an example for style, because I think he's a perfect example of choosing an intentional style rather than just having like a way he had to draw because he didn't know how to do anything else. And to me, that's like, again, the main difference between style and schema. Like, again, a schema is like a thing that's how you draw, that's your default drawing. Like, you don't know how to do something else, you haven't studied something else. Whereas a style is an intentional choice. But it's totally valid to not like Picasso. I'm not trying to like convert anybody or anything. Hey, E to the 2i Pie, how are you? Sorry, you snuck in here, I missed it. Hope you're doing well, thanks for dropping by. How did I keep getting behind in chat? Yeah, probably a little bit of imposter syndrome. Or pasta syndrome. I do have that problem too. I think a walk to get my car today will help with my pasta syndrome. Trying to think of a vaguely helpful analogy of schema versus style. It's like washing dishes. I know what to look for and how to make sure they're clean. I could wash them by hand stylized, but I just put them in the schema dishwasher. That's it. That's a decent analogy. I like that. Imposters don't get imposter syndrome. You know, actually, that's a valid point, Vickman. I had to think about that for a second. But, like, beginner artists get imposter syndrome too, Vickman. Who've never been paid to do art. I mean, you make a good point. I see what you're trying to say, and I appreciate what you're trying to say. Thank you for being here and for being encouraging, Vickman. I do appreciate it. I'm just a chronic overthinker. Don't mind me. Let's draw this face. Ouch. I just hurt myself also. See, that's why I'm not a pro. I just bumble all the time. his paintings give you nightmares. Oh my gosh. Hey, Indiana Brad, how you doing? It's good to see you. Yeah, the Asaro head. I always forget what it's called. I'm gonna write that down. If anybody wants to look something up to find other planes of the face, Asaro heads are great. Oh my gosh, my handwriting is awful. This is why I write in all caps. Asaro. Pro tip, if you have terrible handwriting, write in all caps. It makes it more legible. I want to get some inspiration of the derpy animals on medieval paintings. Oh my gosh. Those are so good though. I'm gonna do like a side profile from this direction. I guess I'll do this one. This one is less Asaro-y because it's not really showing the planes of the face. It's more of like a blended value scale, but still helpful. Although if I'm gonna be working from something like this, I feel like I should just work from an actual image instead of this. But I'm trying to block in the general areas, the general shapes first before I jump into detail. This is the hardest habit that I need to break because I do have a habit of drawing from animation when I was a kid, and it's very line heavy, and so I got into this really bad habit of just like focusing on the line rather than the entire gesture of the face, and that's for me, that's like the hardest hurdle to overcome. It could be different for everybody. It totally depends on your inspirations growing up. I know not everybody. Probably a lot of people had that growing up, at least in my age group, and younger probably. But that's not everybody's default, so. I do feel like this is why a lot of the naturalist painters are incredibly good at draftsmanship, because they grew up spending so much time drawing out in nature. Such a good practice that I wish I took more advantage of, I guess. One day, chat, we're gonna go on a sketch hike. I'm gonna take you guys to the mountains and we're gonna draw stuff. It's gonna be fun. Dang it, it'll be fun. That's intentionally silly and less helpful. Wait, what is? Let's see, I wanna get some inspiration. Hold on, I'm behind again. You were born with pasta syndrome. I know, right? I feel that so deeply, Easel. Oh, by the way, you guys should go follow Easel. I know we rated in yesterday, so a lot of you guys may have already checked out Easel's work, but if you haven't, incredible oil painter, hyper-realistic oil painter here on Twitch, does awesome, awesome work. I've had the privilege to co-stream with Easel a couple of times, and it's been great. Hopefully again soon. I guess my art history class was really different. I always hear horror stories of art history class, but yours was incredible. That's great, Blue. We were allowed to choose our favorite artists within a large pool of historical artists and study them. That is actually a great way to do it. Did your teacher ever do like a broad overview of various, because I would imagine you would still need to learn about artists that you're not interested in their styles just to understand who they are and why their work is important. But that's a good way to do it, for sure, to kind of have it be student-led or like self-guided. I think that's a much more effective way to, and then they can like share, like whatever interests you, you can share about it. And that's how you can educate the rest of the class as well. I like that. The teacher in me likes that approach. I feel like student-led learning is always the best. And plus, you learn by teaching. So like that's such a, sorry, I'm going on a teacher rant. It's a good thing to have students do, is to teach each other. I think there's a difference between imposter syndrome and lack of confidence. Yeah, I think you're right. But I do think there are definitely like, they're bedfellows, you know. I think imposter syndrome stems from a lack of confidence in some ways. At least partially. Ah! What happened? Who did something? Sorry, that shouldn't have scared me. I don't know why that scared me. It was so quiet. Woodhaven, thank you so much for that follow. You're very sweet. Welcome in, welcome in. I will draw again in a second. I'm just catching up on chat again. Hey Raga, welcome in, how are you? And then, and Kevin, 322, hello, how are you? It's good to have you here. It's fun because I said so. Did I say that? Did I say that? I actually don't remember anything that I said in the last 20 minutes. That's how my brain works. It's just in the brain, it kind of like percolates, ferments, comes out, and then leaves my memory. I have no idea what you're referencing, but I apologize if I said anything terrible. Yeah, I can't wait for the next one either, Isel. How many years have I been drawing? I guess, I don't know, I just never stopped drawing. You know what I mean? Like, all kids draw, and then a lot of kids stop and some don't. I'm one of the ones that didn't stop, so. If you're asking how long I've been trying to draw, like, intentionally, know. I kept sketchbooks. I think my earliest sketchbook was like 9 or 10 years old. I think I got my first sketchbook at 10, but I used to draw a lot on loose leaf paper and keep it in like folders when I was younger. I made little books and like pop-up books and stuff. I don't know. I've always drawn. But I guess like professionally or like intentionally, probably since college. Although quantifying that is hard because I did commissions in high school too. I don't know. I've drawn a long time. See, the thing is, Isol only co-streams with pro streamers. Oh, I see. Is that true, Isol? Isol, does that mean you're a pro streamer too? My gosh. Hydrate. Oh, we have a good news redeem too. Who did something pro? Yeah, right. Overly aggressive cartwheel. It was about the stream for going in the mountains. Oh, yeah. It will be fun. Thank you for reminding me. It will be fun. But you guys will have a good time. I'll make it as little fun as possible by forcing the fun on you. No, I think it'll be a good time. I'm trying to do like the finger waggle, but it's not working. It's not natural for me. I don't do this a lot. I'll out Annette. Thank you so much. That's very sweet of you. How are you doing, out Annette? I still need to talk to my roommate about when we can do another Dordogne stream. I feel very bad that you weren't able to attend live because I do appreciate that. But we'll do it again sometime. Our teacher went over the different periods and artists. However, she would have us look at the chosen artists' work to see how they themselves were influenced for those periods and other historical artists. That's cool. It sounds like you had a really good art history teacher, or an art teacher who did art history. Yeah, no, that's awesome. That's a good way to do it. You missed it. Wait, what do you mean? We talked about this the other day, I thought. Maybe I dreamed that. You didn't miss it, though. I only started the game on stream, but I definitely didn't finish it. I think it's a fine line between the two. Like, I think a beginner feeling an imposter is almost like their lack of confidence telling themselves that they aren't progressing. Yeah. Yeah, that's an interesting thing to think about, Bickman. I feel like artists tend to fall into one of two categories, right? Maybe somebody else can like speak to this or has a different experience, but I feel like for myself, I have typically met two kinds of artists. They either all have a little bit of lack of self-confidence or imposter syndrome, where they just kind of aren't in love with their work, but want to be better. And so like that's what drives them. Or they're like the highly competitive, a little bit egotistical, and this is, to be fair, I think a more rare art personality type. But there's some, I know, and it's typically, for whatever reason, most of the people I know who are like this are men, but like most of the time, the people who are like that are like not super fun to be around. But the thing that tends to drive them is that they think that they draw great. They like objectively, and a lot of times they're right. They're like, I'm objectively better than this person. But like being the best and staying the best is what drives them. So I think there's like two ways that I've seen artists go, and I don't know that I've really ever seen a third option. I guess a third option might be the person who's just doing art because they enjoy it and they're not making a business or trying to make it their life goal, and they just so happen to be really good at it because of a lifetime of practice. But I don't personally know any of those artists. I think I've just seen them. And maybe they just don't talk about their struggles online. I don't know. What do you guys think? Yeah. I don't know. I feel like that's who I've met, though. Okay, hi, I'm out of net. Just because you said something doesn't mean I've heard, understood, and digested it. Oh, out of net, I think you're fine. No, I felt bad because you popped into chat. I'll remind you, don't worry. You popped into chat and I felt like I disappointed you because I was like, oh yeah, we played Dordogne, and you're like, oh man. And I felt really bad. So I'll try to remember to make sure that you know when it's coming up next. I'm gonna try and schedule a time with my roommate, like when she isn't gonna be here on a Sunday, and I'll make an event in Discord. So, and I'll post on social media about it and stuff. So hopefully there'll be more heads up on the next one. I just was running out of time this month to get a game stream in, and I've been really wanting to play it because it looks so pretty. And it was pretty. There are many lifetime hobby artists turning to Twitch. Yeah, that's true. That's true. But yeah, I'm trying to think of like the personality types who tend to be artists, and as far as like imposter syndrome goes, and for the most part, I feel like most artists I know fall into one of two categories, with like probably 90% of them falling into the imposter syndrome / lack of confidence category, where everybody's just a little bit dissatisfied with their work, and then like 10%, maybe even less than 10. I think I've met personally 2 artists that fall into this category, and then I've seen online maybe 2 or 3 more, you know, like it's a very small percentage. But I also don't work in like hyper competitive industries. I'm sure if I worked in gaming, like game art or animation, that probably that second category would be like a much higher percentage. But for me personally, I don't know that many who are in like the competitive, egotistical, like my art is so good and yours sucks kind of thinking. Like I do think that there are artists like that, but I don't know them personally, at least not very many of them. Yeah, I guess the third category would just be the hobby artist who is fine with the work that they do and just does it for the pure enjoyment of it and doesn't have any kind of like, oh, I'm not good enough to do this, because they're not trying to do it professionally, you know? They're just doing it for the love of it, which I think is great. Smacks me around like no one's business. I fight back, but it's got hands. Exactly! See, I think that's most artists, Blue. At least the ones that I know. Yeah, I think different circles, exactly, Rue. Like, if I hung out mostly with, like, hobbyists or, like, you know, stay-at-home parents who just, like, crafted for fun, I'm sure I'd have a much bigger percentage of, like, that in my circles. I met a lot of egos in the avatar. Yes, I think marketing and graphic design probably has a lot of these too, Chris Wright. Yeah. Also, hi. How you doing? Good to see you, Chris Wright. Yeah, do you feel like you see very many people, Chris? I'm sorry, I'm just curious. We're talking about imposter syndrome, like the personality types and like approaches artists take to their art, to like their own, like evaluating their own work. I guess I would imagine because you have to be so hypercritical in graphic design that there would almost have to be a higher level of like ego to be able to navigate that much criticism, to be able to defend your choices or whatever. So maybe it's just like the nature of the beast a little bit. But like how often do you see people who have like the imposter syndrome? Like I don't feel like I'm good enough, but I'm trying to learn, I'm trying to get better in that sphere. I'm curious if you have time to answer. If not, if you just wanted to lurk, that's fine too. Don't let me drag you into a conversation you don't have time for. But I do find myself curious. I'm gonna switch to facial features now. I think I'm gonna switch to the nose. And I'll come back to the mouth here in a bit. We're also our own harshest critics, this is true. And one thing you always do on stream is something that pushes you outside of your comfort zone. I try, yeah. It's possible that you find yourself feeling imposter. Yeah, no, so yeah, that's absolutely true, Big Man. Oh my gosh. If anybody wants to watch me at like peak imposter syndrome insecurity level, go to my YouTube channel and watch the first couple of Art Gym streams before they were called Art Gym. I've gotten a lot better, but holy cow, they're almost cringy to watch because I'm so insecure about making a bad drawing on screen. Like it's like in front of people. It's like it was not a bad time, but it was a hard time. But I think that is one thing that this has accidentally helped me with a little bit, is just like getting over that and just inviting everybody to draw poorly with me. So if you want to do that, that's what the Art Gym is all about. We're all just accepting that we're going to be drawing stuff that we're not maybe super comfortable with, and that's how growth happens. I think there's a saying about that actually, right? Like growth happens on the edge of uncomfortable, I think. So I've definitely been plenty uncomfortable here during the Art Gym streams. Plenty of times. Alright, I'm going to erase this sorrow head thing, because I don't... Or at least move it. Boink. Hey Miss Art Rules, how are ya? Yeah, in fields like that, you have to be that kind of confidence. Yeah, I think that's probably right. Most of your friends definitely have the healthy dose of imposter syndrome thing. Lots of kind passion. Oh, that's good. That's really good, Chris Wright. Yeah. That's great. Also, if you guys aren't already following Chris Wright, you should do that. Chris Wright does illustration, teaching himself to be an illustrator, but also is a graphic designer and talks about design on stream sometimes, especially when I pester him about it. But you guys should totally go follow. newer artist here on Twitch. Well, I don't know, how long have you been streaming now? Maybe not new anymore, but somewhat newish. Yeah, no, I said hi. Miss Art Rules, I saw you. In agencies, there's lots of people who have very strong opinions, the kind of people who will die on every hill and need to strong-arm their way through the day. I could not be in that environment. I would die. Those folks are difficult to work with the most because they won't collaborate, they only compete. Yeah. And I do see some of that like competitive mentality in illustration too, but it's way less common, I think. I think the hardest personalities that I've ever dealt with, like, I'm not gonna name names, but I had who ended up being an art friend, but like literally the first interaction we had with each other, it was in high school. And to be fair, there's some immaturity probably involved too. But like, he walked over to our group, we all had our sketchbooks out, we were drawing, and he kind of like, we'd never met this kid before. He walks over to a friend of mine who was and still is a very incredible artist, and kind of looked at her sketchbook and was like, "You're almost as good as me." I just said that. And that was our first interaction. We all just kind of looked at him like, okay. Hi, who are you? Yeah, it wasn't, I'm sure he would be mortified now, but it was it would definitely left an impression. And since then I've met like one other person who had that same mentality as an adult. Maybe not quite that direct about it, but definitely like openly admits that the only thing that drives them to draw is competitiveness, like trying to be better than somebody else. Funnily enough, he ended up being an architect. I probably shouldn't say that. In case he's watching, I'm so sorry. I don't hold it against you at all. I don't think he's watching, but it's just a very funny memory that I have. Yesterday I got asked a question that I didn't know the answer to, but the asker and I figured it out together, lowering the imposter syndrome. That's awesome. I feel like an imposter every time I do something. But usually all that means is that I'm human. Yeah, exactly. And you're putting yourself out there. Exactly. That's e to the 2i pi. That's how I feel, or aka circle. That means circle, by the way. If you guys want to learn math, also, you should go follow e to the 2i pi. Streams a lot of math education here on Twitch. For those who didn't know, you can learn things on Twitch. So there's like free classes and free education. I think it's pretty cool. But yeah, I think that's something that I think it almost comes with like streaming, especially because even if you don't intend to, you end up kind of looking like you're an authority figure on something just because people are watching you and they're like asking questions and you're answering them. And so something I try to do, I'm not always good about it, is try to insert a lot that like, this is just my opinion, or like, I'm not, like being okay with like, I'm not sure, let's find out. Cause like, I don't know everything and I really don't want to be in a position of authority for anybody. Like I don't want people to think that I know what I'm doing, because that's too much of an expectation on me that I know I can't live up to, right? That's part of why I also say like, I'm not a pro. Like I try to say that a lot, just as like a friendly reminder. Like guys, I'm just somebody trying to get better at art. And I'm streaming that process. So, but yeah, it can be a little like when you're in that position and you feel like you don't know something and you feel like you should, it can kind of make you feel like, oh gosh, like I don't like this. Yeah, no, it was very funny. He grew out of it. Yeah, no, he grew out of it for sure. I think some of it was just like high school immaturity, or like just being blunt without thinking about how you sound. Like, it could also just been like an inside comparison thing that like snuck out, you know, out loud. It was just a very like funny first introduction. So guys, I'm just really quickly like kind of tracing the shapes on these noses to kind of find the planes that we've been talking about. So like here would be like a planar sort of way of thinking of the nose structure. I'm trying to think of it as like a three-dimensional shape. Like what's the most far forward? Like the button of the nose, right? The bridge of the nose, all this stuff. And then just kind of getting those shapes down before I go into do any drawing. I don't know, I think it's a good practice. Again, as long as you use tracing as a tool to study and not a crutch. Like if you have to trace all the time, then you're not actually like ingesting any of the information, you know? But I don't think it's a terrible practice to have when you're studying. Sometimes I think it's got to be a way to protect their personhood. It's scarier for them to be vulnerable than to convince themselves that they're more correct. That's true too. That's true too. Yeah. Yeah, there's always the mental health aspect, right, Chris? You have some naturally competitive friends. They learn to use that competitive feeling toward productivity. Yeah, I think as long as you steer it in a positive direction, it's not bad. And it kind of depends on how willing you are to like self-analyze too. Like, I recognize that like being constantly insecure is not healthy for me, and I don't want my imposter syndrome or lack of confidence to like negatively affect my career, which it has in the past. I would say like that's the main reason I kind of was afraid of the internet and am afraid of the internet still, is like so afraid of being judged, which isn't healthy. Like ultimately that's like a type of caring too much about what other people think, and I'm personally trying to work on that, and I think I've gotten a lot better. But I've also just noticed that it has stunted my ability to like put myself out there and be known, which also does not help you when you're trying to be a professional in an industry, right? So you got to be known by people in the industry in order to be a part of it. And it's just, I think it can work the other way with that ego competitive thing. Like that can also isolate you. It can make you a bitter, like angry, judgmental person. And you have to decide whether or not you want that to be your core being, and like what you want to do about that and how you can steer that in a positive direction. So for me, I've tried to take that fear of not being good enough, take it from like a weight on my shoulders to like a fire under me, to like be motivated and excited to be able to get better, and like, oh, look at all these things I can learn. Like I want to learn how to do that, as opposed to like, oh, I'm never gonna get this. And I'm sure there's like a flip-floppy way to do that if you're the competitive egotistical type. Am I stretching? No, we are in an ad break and I should be stretching. I just wanted to finish my thought, I'm sorry. But thank you. It is stretch time. We are in an ad. Sorry for anybody who wanted to hear the rest of that thought. I guess it'll be in the thought if you're really curious. But let's stretch. If you can hear the sound of my voice, it is stretch time. We do a stretch once an hour. I'm going to do the posture stretch because we only have like 40 seconds left, and then just kind of do some wrist rotations while we're doing this. But if you'd like to do it with me, just kind of unshrimp your back. If you can hear the sound of my voice, push your shoulders together, kind of push your neck back even if you want to kind of adjust your, if you're starting to hunch over your phone or your laptop or your computer or your game, whatever you're doing. And just take a minute once an hour to really flex those muscles in the opposite direction of where you've been pushing them. Because hunching all the time is an exercise. It is a stretch. It's a stretch you're doing on accident, and you're stretching yourself into the wrong position. So we're trying to overcorrect that stretch by holding this arched back posture and then relaxing. And then that relax is going to put you into a more upright position. And if you just do that every time you notice yourself shrimping or hunching, over time it can really help your posture. So hey Red Salamander, yeah, I'm personally doing the human face, like facial features and stuff. So I did like some Asaro head studies really quick. We've been talking a lot about art life as well, which tends to happen, which I personally enjoy, so thank you all for engaging me in that. But we're also doing some sketching. How are you? Workouts for artists, that's right. Yeah, if you guys want to do workouts for artists, Chris Wright's actually thinking about leading like a workout for artists session sometime, so hopefully he'll keep us posted and we can like go check that out. I don't know when you're planning on doing that, Chris, but I'm interested. I definitely need some like good stretches and good at-home body weight exercises that are easy to do that can help for artists or people who sit at their computer a lot. So yeah, no, I'm interested. Raise your hand in chat if you're interested. Maybe that'll encourage Chris to, if he sees that there's people who would like to do a workout for artists specifically, and get that for free here on Twitch, which I think is a super cool resource. So if you're interested in that, let us know. I certainly am interested. Yeah, see, Blue wants to get moving more. You have redeems on your channel that get you moving. Yeah, so does Chris. I actually want to do that too. I want to do like a lift redeem. Also not a pro. Yeah, there's that qualifying thing that we artists have to do, right? Not a pro in fitness or otherwise, but I bet you there's lots of people who are listening right now who would be interested. We'll get the word out for sure. I want to see Chris moving more. Raga, okay, so Raga is interested in Chris working out on stream. That's okay too. Raga is very good about popping into Chris's chat randomly and just hitting the lift command. I enjoy doing the P90X. Oh, I haven't heard about that in a long time. But you need more time to do it. I just honestly want like some simple stretches and simple body weight stuff that I can do at home. You do P90X too? I didn't know that was still a thing. I had friends that did that a long time ago. I had no idea P90X was still a thing people enjoyed. I guess I always thought it was one of those like fad workouts, but I guess people actually do it. Good job, everybody who does that. Don't you have to have like a pull-up bar that you put on your door or something to do P90X? I can't remember. I don't know. I think my door of my apartment would break if I tried to do that. Hey Lodnin, how are you doing? It's good to see you. I'm doing pretty well. Not all of the workouts require that. That's good to know, Foxtastic. Also, welcome in. You did leg day over and over. Nice. Apparently there's a lot of P90Xers in chat, so. You don't have any good doors. I use the resistance bands. Yeah, I have resistance bands for my PT. Alright, drawing noses at angles, folks. That's what I'm doing right now. Noses at... Oh! Angles. Aw, thank you, Miss Art Rules. That was very sweet of you. Thank you so much for gifting that sub. Thank you, thank you. And, Noodle Hex, enjoy your sub. Swear by the Yoga X Factor. Or no, the Yoga X Forever. What is that? I thought I'd be able to draw along with my cat. Freed you from your prison. The cat prison, it is a hard one to break free of. So I'm glad that you are now free. Welcome to freedom. And thank you for spending some of that freedom here. I'm trying really hard to pay attention to the planes of the nose. It's a little hard to see in some of these images. But like the various like little shapes and boxes, like you can see that this person has kind of a flare right above the nostril, whereas this person does not as much. It's kind of interesting. I need to pay more attention to these things. Yoga X is part of P90X. Oh, you would do it on a Thursday of the practice. Clearly I've never looked into it. Yoga X is great. It's part of... Okay. Still have trouble with twisting triangle pose. Ooh. Oh my gosh, Miss Art Rules. We're doing a scientific name drawing animal. So let me finish this nose. I'm gonna go actually do the good news redeem too, and then we'll take a little break and do the draw me an animal in just a sec. I'm not gonna know what it is, I can already tell you. So you're just gonna get a random doodle of a random thing, because I don't know what that is. Scientific names, I never know. There's very few, I should say, scientific names that I know what they are. I love the plane at the tip of the nose that informs you what shape the nose is without making it look like you are adding creases. What do you mean? You love the plane at the tip of the nose. You mean like this? The little button part? Or like that part, I guess? Where the highlight is. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I need to be better about indicating that in my people arts. I'm not very good about it. I'm not very good about a lot of things with people arts. Because I don't draw peoples. People are boring. I'm trying to find people more interesting though. That's what I'm here attempting to do. So thank you all for keeping me accountable. Okay, let's do the good news redeem first, because that got redeemed a while ago. And I don't want to forget. And then we'll do the draw me an animal. Let's see. Oh, 25% away on my sub goal. Thanks, guys. It's very sweet. Positive news. Here we are. Okay. Let's see. Gratitude jar we did. Hydrate we did. Gratitude jar this morning we did. Okay. Did I hydrate? I can't remember. I'm gonna hydrate again just in case. Everyone hydrate. Okay. So we have also, in the spirit of positivity, we have some positive news that has been redeemed that we will share. Good News Network is my favorite one because it has multiple good news stories every day. Let's see what has happened today. Aw, this is cute. Okay, some of these are videos, and I don't know if I want to play the video. But here, well, I like this one. This one seems extremely heartwarming. Okay, so here we have strangers make boy's birthday extra special with a sing-along party in a heartwarming video. So if you want to watch the video, here is the news link. I'm gonna look at it with you guys and read it to you. A young boy was celebrating his 8th birthday in a park and was ready to blow out the candles on a cake when an unexpected surprise happened. Strangers in the park came over to help sing a happy birthday. On their own initiative, an adult and 3 children in matching jackets asked if they could help James ring in his new year, perhaps because the party was pretty scant on guests. Aww. So basically a bunch of strangers came in and started wishing him a happy birthday. Aww, and he high-fives them at the end. Maybe we will watch this. This sounds really wholesome. Let's look at this.
Hi, everybody.
I love a good news story. Wait, let's get to the singing part.
Happy birthday to you.
Cute.
Happy birthday to you.
Look at his face.
Happy birthday, dear Dave. Happy birthday to you.
Aww, so sweet.
Birthday.
He looks so happy. But there you go. There's your good news story for the day. I like doing the positive news because it reminds me that not everything is bad and the world's not on fire at all times. So, because it feels like that sometimes. Okay, and then, so thank you for that redeem. Always a feel-good moment. So wholesome, I know, right? I do love a positive news. Sometimes there's like all kinds of positive news stories. There's Good News Network and there's other good news story sites out there. That's just the one that I use because they have a bunch every single day. But that was our positive news, so thanks, Pioneer. And then for the Draw Me an Animal, yeah, gotta love a kid just like super excited with that sneaky little smile. It's very, very sweet. And then for the Draw Me an Animal, oops, not this. This is not the Draw Me an Animal. Hold on. That was something else. Draw Me an Animal, here we go. Spread the love, that's right, that's right. We're getting kind of full on these Draw Me an Animals. Okay. Man, I was thinking about the Argonaut this morning, actually. That blew my mind yesterday. Part of the thing I like about Draw Me an Animal is it introduces me to animals that I don't know, and we all get to learn about them together. So the way it works, if anyone's never been here for a Draw Me an Animal before, I will draw what I think this animal is, and then we will learn about it together in just a little bit. So I do not know Latin or Greek or anything. I have no idea what this is saying. The only word I even kind of recognize here is excavata, like excavate maybe. So maybe it's like a digging creature. Caelonia excavata. No idea what this is. So you're just gonna get a random animal because I don't know. So I'm just gonna pick a mole because why not? I'm gonna pick a mole and I'm gonna draw that. So I have 5 minutes to do this. It is 11:16. I'll go for 5 minutes or less. Moles don't typically have eyes, so I'm just gonna make him slit eyes. And there we go. There's my there's what I think this is, because I'm better, a little bit better at getting closer to the animal with the common name for sure. But the only rule we have is like, please don't give me any hints in chat. So I'm gonna do my best, and then we'll learn it together. If you want to look it up on your own, feel free. That is totally fine. We'll do a mole. Trying to make him dig a hole, but I didn't really draw this in a way where it looks like he's digging a hole. So I'm gonna say here's a little dirt pile behind him, or like to the side maybe. Some little dirts, because he is trying to dig a hole, I guess. I guess they tend to be more of a grayish. Yes, you can totally do it, Blue. Hey Red, this is a Draw Me an Animal redeem. Yep. It is a name I don't know. So I'm just drawing a random animal because it says excavata, so I just picked a digging animal. So I picked a mole. But it's probably totally wrong. It's probably like a bug or a dinosaur. I have no idea. It's probably something that is like super obscure and doesn't have a common name. I'm sure that's why there's a scientific name given, but we're gonna learn about it. I just hope people know when they request things without a common name, I'm gonna have a way less chance of drawing the animal they're trying to get me to draw. So as long as that's okay. Let's do... Even this one's got you stumped, yeah. Yeah. Did you look it up? Did you see what it was, or are you just trying to, like, guess? Because, yeah, I have no idea. A lot of times with, like, prehistoric animals, too, they don't have common names, and those are really hard for me as well. Like, I don't have those all memorized. As long as I'm not disappointing somebody. Okay. I'm gonna say it's a mole. That's my guess. It's probably not. It's probably not a mole. Let's go look at it. Fair warning, it's a little gross. Oh, okay. Well, so it's probably not a mole then. Selena. Wait, is this one of those, like, sightless worms? Oh. Bird-dropping spider. Well, that would have been a common name. The bird-dropping spider. That's funny. Moles can be a little gross, that's true. I guess I can kind of see how it looks like bird droppings. The bird-dropping spider of Australia and New Zealand derives its name from mimicking birds. So its name is the bird-dropping spider. Mimicking bird droppings to avoid predators. So yeah, I guess if you don't like spiders or if you don't like bird droppings, look away. This is your fair warning. We're going to learn about this for a second, and then we'll get back to drawing faces. So the scientific name is Selena excavata, which I guess the second half of that name makes a little more sense now. But it's also called its actual name is the bird-dropping spider. The males are smaller than females. That's pretty typical. Egg sacs look really interesting, though. They kind of look like candy to me. But yeah, there's the spider right there. I can definitely see where it gets its name. For sure. It just kind of looks like an extra bulbous abdomen. Barely even looks like a spider, honestly. Found throughout large parts of eastern and southern Australia. Nice. Large marbled brown egg sacs. They're spheres, about 12 millimeters in diameter, and containing over 200 eggs. Oh my gosh. Spider egg sacs are crazy. Diet consists of male moths. Wait, specifically male moths? Oh, because it hunts at night, mimicking the scent of female moths. That's really specific. Bird-dropping spider stays motionless on its web during the day, only hunting for prey at night. It hangs down from a single silk thread and releases a pheromone that mimics one that is released by female moths. When a male moth comes near, the spider will capture it with its powerful front legs. Huh, there you go. Well, anyway. Less excavate, more excrement, yeah. So I'm sure that part of that probably just means to remove, is probably what the root word of that, I would guess, would mean. Google images of them with their leggies out, that's more spidery. Yeah, that's true. We could look that up. Just, fair warning, if anybody doesn't like spiders, you might want to look away. Spider warning. See, they have them so tucked, though. I imagine to mimic, like, this excavata look. Like, most of them are pretty tucked. They keep their little feet, like, tucked in. Just, like, holding itself. Spooter. Yeah, it is a little spooter. Like, it's almost so tucked it doesn't look like one. Oh, here's one with its leg out. It seems like it's kind of uncommon. That doesn't even look like the same animal. This one kind of looks like, I don't know. That looks like a cat-faced spider more than a bird-dropping spider. I wonder if they're the same, actually. I wonder if they're similar. Hold on, let's go to, or if that's just like a coincidence. Let's go to one zoom really fast. I think one zoom does insects. Cat-faced spider. We have these here in Colorado, and I saw one the other day. It's pretty crazy. It's like a type of orb weaver. So there's no pictures here. And then we have the bird dropping spider. I wonder if they're both orb weavers. See how close they are. Not super close. Way over here is the bird dropping spider. Are they both orb weavers though? Oh yeah, they are. They're both orb weavers. Okay, so they're both orb weavers. That's interesting. Because they do look really similar. I actually really like orb weaver spiders. I think they have like really great variety and a lot of cool like colors and body shapes. But okay, so they're both orb weavers. But yeah, this picture, where did it go? One of them looked just like the cat face spider, but just with different colors. That's what made me think of it. The cat face spider, by the way, since we're looking at spiders, has like an abdomen that looks like a cat's face. So this one's upside down, but you can see like the ears, the eyes. Oh, here's a really good one. Yeah. So it almost looks it's just like a little face on the bum. But the ones we have here in Colorado are like these bright white colored ones. But yeah, orb weavers are very typical for having these, like, that one's really rotund. This is probably the best, like the one I saw. Oh, hey, Sharing! Thank you so much for that sub. I really, really appreciate that. Seriously, thank you. That's really, really kind. And good morning to you as well. 6 months! Yeah, that's crazy. Thank you for doing that for 6 months. That's so unnecessary for anybody to do, but so appreciated. I really, really thank you. Yeah, pretty much germs, yeah. That spider to male moss. Hello, boys. Chomp. To everything else, hi, I'm Poop. Moss can be a little gross, affectionately. That's true. Thought you said moss rather than moths. Oh, yeah. Female moss, or male moss would be confusing. I don't think that's a thing. Well, very fun. Thank you, Miss Art Rules. Appreciate that. Let's get back to noses. For anyone who's drawing along, by the way, we're going to be looking at your studies in like 15 minutes or so. I kind of wanted to keep it a little shorter today, so I'm not going to go all the way to noon like I have been, I don't think. Just because I need to go get my car. My car is ready. It's ready to be picked up from the shop, finally. I was expecting to be without a car for like 2 weeks, and thankfully they got it done just over a week, so I'm really excited to go get it, but I have to go catch a bus to get there. And the bus doesn't drop off at the location. It's like I have to walk like maybe a quarter mile, half a mile, something like that to get to the place. So, and it's cold and snowy outside, so it's gonna be quite the adventure, quite the trek this morning. So I want to kind of get that started so that I can go run some errands and hopefully get to the studio today. That would be the goal, but I need to go I haven't had groceries, haven't been able to go to the grocery store since before the convention, so I'm like 2 weeks out from a grocery run. And so it's getting a little barren in the fridge. I need some produce. I need some other stuff. So I need to go do grocery runs and yeah, just follow up on a few things. So yeah, right, Sharing? My plea for sleep. That's true. I did have really good sleep. I had pretty good sleep last night, but I had really good sleep the night before. I think my sleep schedule is still kind of adjusting. Because I had trouble falling asleep until about midnight last night. But it's better than a few nights ago where I couldn't fall asleep till 3 a.m. So I'm hoping that keeps crawling up. I keep laying down at like 9:30 or 10, so I'm hoping I can start falling asleep at like 10:30 is my goal time to be asleep. That way I can wake up early and do my workout and get my day going. Especially, for those who don't know, especially because next month in April, I've decided April is when I'm going to try to bump my streams up an hour earlier. So just FYI, I'm going to be starting the warm-up streams at 9 a.m. Mountain Time as opposed to 10 a.m. Mountain Time starting in April. I'm going to make some announcements about this in Discord, so if you don't already have the announcements ping turned on and you'd like to, just so you know, in Discord, you can self-assign roles, you can self-assign channels. So like if you like a cleaner, smaller Discord, you can take yourself off of certain channels that you don't use or don't want to see, and just only have channels that you want access to. You can kind of control all of that. And one of the roles you can give yourself is the announcements role. I do post things in announcements even without using that ping, like stuff that I don't think is worth a ping. I'll kind of put little updates about strings being canceled, that kind of stuff. You won't get a ping for every time stuff like that happens. I only use the announcements ping for like once a month, like bigger announcements, but I will make a ping soon about the monthly art showcase and stream is getting moved up by an hour. So I'm gonna try this in April and just see how it goes. I'm hoping it helps me get more stuff done and kind of get myself going earlier, which I really need to do. But if anybody wants to know, if you go into Discord, at least on desktop, you can go to channels and rules here, and that's where you can like self-assign stuff. So you can actually opt in and out of things here, or you can just go to browse channels and literally just check or uncheck stuff. So I have all of them checked because I'm, it's my Discord, but you could opt out of any of these. None of these are mandatory. I'm pretty sure. Like I guess you could be in the Discord and literally have no channels. But yeah, if you want to get like pings and notifications, you can self-assign as a streamer. You can, some of these, like the Cheeseling one doesn't mean anything, but announcements is here, movie night, all that kind of stuff. So feel free to opt in or out of any of those roles at any time. On mobile, you should be able to also go up there and do it. I just might look a little different, but it should still be an option. Real Fapu? I have no idea if that's how I say your name, but welcome in. Thanks for being here. Yeah, so if anybody wanted to do the share along part of the art gym, we're going to be looking at stuff you guys did in about 15 or so minutes. So feel free to keep drawing after that, obviously. But if you wanted to, like I said, be a part of the show and tell, and if you don't want to join Discord, actually, you can also, I've been trying this out. I don't know if it's helpful or not. I might just try it for a little bit, and then, I don't know. We'll just see if anybody even wants to use it this way, but I figured for people who don't want to be in Discord, if you have a blue sky, I also have a post I make about my warm-up streams, and if you want to post your doodles in that, like on that post as a reply, like in the comments, that will help if you like didn't want to post your sketch as its own post on Blue Sky, but still wanted to participate, but maybe you don't want to join a Discord, that's another option too. It's the easiest social media for me to check. That's mostly why I'm doing it. But yeah, anyway. Those are the ways you can participate if you'd like to. Okay. But yeah, thank you. Thank you for the congrats. Yeah, I'm excited to have my car back. It's been too long since I've had my car. Okay. Working out at the art gym, trying to draw noses. Noses are hard. Not my fave, but I need to do them. I've been watching a lot of people who draw humans. Trying to hang out on like more character design streams to get inspired to do stuff like this. I was hanging out on a couple this week that really kind of made me like, okay, I need to, like, I want to get to this level, like I want to, like, I'm trying to motivate myself, right? Like we were talking about earlier, like instead of just being embarrassed about how poorly I draw people, I'm like, yeah, I want to actually improve this skill set. So I'm probably going to start incorporating some more stream events that have to do with like human, like character design stuff. So if anybody is interested in that, something I was thinking about last night, as soon as I can get my afternoon streams going again, I'd like to do, I'm trying to think of like a fun name for it, but I was thinking about like character camp. I don't know if I like the name or not. But we're like, it would be kind of like the art gym, but it would be more like a game to kind of make it fun to do character design. And I would make it kind of like interactive. So the idea would be that like people in chat could just drop character attributes, just like whoever wants to, just like drop as many as you want, and I'll just pick a few, and that would be like the prompt for that session. And then it would be another like draw along type thing, but I do it in the afternoon so that I have more time. But yeah, how does character camp sound? Does that sound okay? But I want to get better at character design, and this would be like an excuse to just like, everybody has a prompt if you want to draw along and make a character. I do the same thing where I'd show it on stream and stuff. But I'm terrible at character design. I want to get better, and I need accountability to do it, and you guys are great for accountability, and I appreciate that. So I thought I would invite whoever wanted to do that to do it with me. Yeah, exactly. And you just start doing prompts. Same. And I know a lot of art streamers do like prompt sessions like this, and they tend to be a lot of fun for me to participate in. So I thought it would be fun. So like maybe I would pick like 3 or 4 words out of chat and put them on the screen, and then we could all like draw a character using those prompts. So it'd be like, so the way I'm thinking of it is like in the mornings we do the art gym to practice the foundational, like fundamental stuff of like how to draw and like improving our skill set, and in the afternoons every once in a while we could do like and now we're gonna apply that to like a fun character design thing. Hopefully that follows, but that's my concept anyway. I'm kind of thinking about it, but character creator camp. Yeah, or like create a character. I feel like character, I want it to be simple. Like art gem is 2 words, character creator. That makes it sound like a game though, like what you do in the character creator part of an RPG. So I don't know, I'm thinking character camp, but I'll keep workshopping it. There could be another name. It could be like the art gym, where it didn't start out being called the art gym and it just kind of happened over time. But it'll be a game. I think it hopefully would be fun. Let me know if you're interested. I'll talk more about it once I have my afternoon streams going again. But it's just something I'm like, I really want to get better at drawing humans. And I feel like camp makes it sound less intimidating. But maybe there's a better word I could come up with. Feel free to drop ideas. Character camp or character creator camp, yeah. I think camp sounds approachable. Character camp is cute? Okay. I don't know. And maybe that would encourage, because I know there's a lot of people who do character design that hang out here, and I'd honestly love to learn from you guys. If anybody wanted to draw along, it would probably be me struggling and then just oohing and ahhing over everything that you guys did, to be honest. Oh my gosh, Donut You, hello. Thank you so much for that raid. We're drawing facial features and talking about character creation, which I'm terrible at. Well, thank you for coming in. I do love donut holes. How was your stream? What did you get up to? We'll get you a shout out here. If you were doing art, would love to see any art you were working on. Yeah, it looks like you were doing art. If you have anything work safe that you'd like to share, come on, I'd love to see it. If you need to run, though, I totally understand. But just know that links are open to you if you raid here, and as long as it's work safe, we'll show it on screen. And tell us about what you were doing. Yeah, how was your stream? You have to read a run. Okay, no worries. No studies are what you need to do. Well, the VOD will be up. The VOD will be up if you want to join in. So this is, welcome in Raiders, by the way. My name is Casey. This is the art gem. We were actually just talking about the art gem, but it's basically an accountability study session that I do here on Twitch, just because I need accountability to do studies. I need to get better at humans specifically, but we don't always do humans. Like the other day, we did, what did we do? We did animal feet yesterday, so we did feet studies for critters. We've done, oh, here's a chicken one that we did. I do a lot of creatures. I'm more of a creature artist, but we also do environmental elements. I did a waterfall study here on stream, planes and jets. We do architecture, we do humans, we do clothing. It's just kind of like a grab bag of studies. So we do this Monday through Wednesday, and then in the afternoons when my studio is working, I do longer format. And thank you for that follow. That's really sweet. Oh, Donut You, thank you. Aw, you're so kind. Thank you for the compliments. Oh, I see a link. Perfect. We'll show that on stream here in just a sec. I'll just finish introducing myself and then, yeah, I'll go fast. But in the afternoons, I'm more of an illustrator, so I'm trying to get into book illustration, kids books. We are work safe. I try to be family friendly as often as I can, just because I used to be an elementary school art teacher, and sometimes kids pop in, and appreciate everybody helping me with that. But yeah, so this is, it's also so if a kids book person comes in and looks, we're not just going crazy here. They don't want to work with me maybe. I don't know if that's actually how it works, but anyway, this is the type of work that I do. So if anybody likes digital illustration, I also do some sculpting, some creature design. Once we can get my afternoon streams going again, I do sea slug dragons on the first Wednesday of every month. We'll look at a sea slug and I'll design a creature based off of the sea slug. I have a good time doing it. We were actually just talking about doing something I might call character camp, which is chat submits prompt words and I'll pick 3 and then we'll do a character design session based on that. I think it'd be kind of fun, and I want to get better at drawing people. I want to get better at drawing humans. I don't love drawing humans. And I need to be drawing more people. I need to find a consistent style for drawing people if I want to get into book illustration. So anyway, I just need to practice, but I do stickers. I'm trying to get, my comic. I'm trying to get to the sculpture. So I'm kind of a variety art streamer, but be right back following you. Oh, you're so sweet. Oh my gosh, Donut, you are so sweet. If those aren't already in chat, there's my links to my socials if anybody wants those. But let's see what you were doing. I'm gonna click this. It says you were sketching some character art. Perfect. So amazing. I would love to get better at characters. Piece of the anime Apothecary Diaries I drew most recently. Okay, cool. I don't know what that is, but let's look at it. Let me close my stuff. Oh, this is lovely. Oh, and it's a video. I love a video. So if anybody hasn't clicked that link from Donut U, or Donut UA, is it UA? I don't know how to say your name, I'm sorry. But this is beautiful. This is beautiful. Very cool. I'll have to make sure that I am following you so I don't miss a stream. But thank you so much again for the raid, and if you have to run, don't even worry about it. Am I following? How do I follow you? Why is it not letting me follow you? Oh my gosh, my computer's gonna crash. There we go. Okay. Well, now I will try, hopefully I'll make a stream sometime. But yeah, this looks fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing your work. If anyone's not already following, make sure that you click. This is lovely. I have to say I'm not familiar with this anime, but you have a lovely style. It's always so fun to watch like speed paints like this. Pretty background too. Lovely, lovely. Well, thank you for sharing. Thank you for rating, and have a good rest of your day. I know you said you gotta run, so. Oh, thank you. We'd love to have you. Yeah, so we're actually getting close to the show and tell part of the study stream. So for Art Gym, at the end, I invite people to study along with me if they want to, and then at the end, if anybody wants to participate, you can join the Discord, drop your studies, as long as they're work safe, into the Art Gym section, and then we'll show it here on screen. As long as it's from observation, it does not have to be what I'm drawing. Like if you wanted to draw flowers today, or draw your shoe, or draw something that you're actually seeing around you, as long as it's a study and it's something for practice, you can follow a tutorial, put it in the Art Gym, we'll look at it, we'll inspire each other. That's kind of the idea. It's having like a workout buddy, right? When you go to the gym, same thing with art studies, I feel I need a workout buddy. So, and then you can also post on Discord, or on Blue Sky. So if anybody, because I know not everybody's a Discord person, so Blue Sky, I have this little post I make every single time I go live with the Art Gym, and if you want to post there instead in the comments, you can drop your image there. For some people it's easier, if you're working traditional, just take a photo with your phone and like put that image into a post reply. So whatever is easiest is or you can drop a link in chat. I really am not particular. The only real rule I have is that it's work safe and that it's not drawn from imagination. So yeah, okay. At least not for the Art Gym. We have other art shares and stuff where you can put whatever you want in there. In fact, the character camp would be one of those, definitely from imagination. Or even the monthly art showcase, which I do once a month. If anybody wants to show off like a finished piece that you're really proud of and you want to see it on screen, the showcase, ! Showcase, if anybody's interested. But it's basically another like Discord channel that you just drop your stuff into, and I'll show it here on Twitch. Again, as long as it's work safe. Okay, noses, let's do some quick mouths. Actually, I think I want to use this one because this one doesn't show enough of the mouth region. And I feel like I can get more like information about the planes of the mouth from this image than I can from these. So I might actually just do this one since it's also the same. It's kind of a boring mouth, but oh well. It's better than nothing. Yeah, have a good rest of your day. Donut UA, okay, Donut UA. I'll try to remember. I'm sorry in advance if I forget. Business to chasing pavement on my own. Alright, I'm gonna do a few of these really fast, and I'm gonna say 5 minutes, and we will then look at your stuff, chat. So if you have something you want to share, feel free to drop it in the Discord or wherever your heart desires. So I try when I'm doing studies to I say this a lot, but since we might have some new folks in chat, I try to draw the big shapes and get the proportions right first before jumping into details. I find that this is one of the better ways to prevent drawing something that you hate. Drawing something that is misproportioned, and then you jump right into details too fast, and then you don't realize that it's out of proportion until you get to the end. So one of the ways to avoid that with the face is thinking about it in planes. And if you don't know what planes are of the face, this is like an Asaro head. And if you just type in Asaro head to Google, you'll find tons of these. But it basically breaks the face down into different planes or sections, and they each catch light differently and show form of the face differently. So yeah, you can practice that as well. Get the big shapes set first, then carve the smaller shapes into them. Yeah, exactly. Think of it like a sculpture. Honestly, that's another thing I probably don't mention enough on stream, but if you really struggle with thinking of drawing as three-dimensional, pick up sculpting. No, in my opinion, I actually credit sculpting from a young age as part of what kept me drawing when I was younger and improving quickly, because I didn't know it at the time, but basically when you're sculpting something, you're having to look at it from various angles and think about form. You're just constantly thinking 3D and like how to make things even and how to make things look realistic or whatever you're going for. And you can apply that to drawing. So like, I think part of why I like drawing in circles is because there's like an implied form here, right? Like this implies like directionality, right? It's like basically a cylinder when I do circles like this. So like drawing like this makes me think about muscles, makes me think about, you know, like I'm basically in my brain, I'm sculpting an arm. So I've got like the hand, the thumb, you know, the fingers. It's not the best, obviously, but the palm. And I'm trying to think about like how all these things fit together. And if you think sculpturally, it's going to help you kind of pull that together as you draw. And even when you're doing from observation like this, you can kind of think about the shapes you're looking at sculpturally. Learning Blender, yeah, sculpting digitally is helpful too. I really like the tactile, like having to form something, because it helps me like think. I don't know how to describe it. I think both are helpful for sure. Any way you can do sculpting. For me personally, I really like the like holding clay, but I know some people don't enjoy the texture of clay. Blender or Sculptress or ZBrush, great option for that as well. But yeah, any kind of three-dimensional practice you can put in is going to help your two-dimensional drawing, believe it or not. And I actually really miss doing sculpting streams. That's another reason I want to get the afternoon streams back going, because I just really miss like doing sculptural stuff. It's like one of my favorite types of art making. And I'm sad that I haven't been able to do it because I've had to cancel the afternoon streams. So, but yeah, I'm basically trying to think about this as like I'm seeing basically these panels, right? In the face. And you can see them like echoed in the lips. There's like 3 sections, you know, and this person's actually got a cleft chin, so you've even got like some extra planes here. But yeah, you can see those planes really clearly with shadow. I'm just trying to think about the planes and how they move. She's got this very narrow upper lip. It's actually kind of unique. Like, I feel like she's got a really intense, what is this called? Like, it almost like attaches further into the nose on this person than I feel like I've seen before. Interesting, interesting. One of these days I'll find it interesting enough to draw humans on my own, but... And don't worry about drawing something that you don't like either. Just know that that's like part of it. Cupid's bow? Yeah, I've heard it called that. There's actually a name for this. Doesn't it start with an F? Does anybody know what the name for this thing right here under your nose is? There's a name. There's a name. I don't remember it, but there is a name. Yeah, hers is very like precise. Yeah, what is that thing called? I thought it started with an F. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm sure a quick Google search could answer this for me, but I want to finish at least one mouth drawing before I go get my car. Yeah, this helps a lot to be able to like see it in position. Oh, it starts with an F sound. It's philitrum. Philitrum? F sound but a PH spelling, yeah. Thank you for looking that up. Am I saying that right? Philitrum? Oh, Philtrum. That sounds better. I don't know why. Oh, OBS's text, like the font makes it look like there's an I there. Or my contacts are out of prescription. That's also possible. Philtrum. That sounds more accurate. Yeah. Thank you. It's like, huh, that was more syllables than I remember that word having. Philtrum. Thank you. I'll probably forget, but for now. Had to look it up again, even though the podcast was chatting. Yeah, I feel like I hear it mentioned every once in a while, and I just can't commit it to memory. The brain is a funny place, you know? I can remember obscure animal facts, but actual important things that, like, affect my life and my career? What was that again? How do I do this thing? What are taxes? Every year, taxes. I have to look everything up all over again. You would think. I've been doing my taxes since I was 18. You'd think I would know. Nope. No, not even a little bit. Oh, nice. Thanks, Miss Yvette. I mean, Miss Art Rules, sorry. Keep saying your old username out of habit. Okay, I'm gonna have to call it here because I do need and want to go get my car out of the shop now. And I'm gonna have to start that trek in the snow to the bus stop and wait there for probably half an hour for the bus to get there. So, 'cause I don't know, they're really inconsistent with timing. Hopefully not half an hour, but it's probably what will happen. So I think I'm gonna call it here. I'm just gonna kind of like, there we go. Okay, we're gonna call it here. There's my studies, my face studies for the day. What I happen to have posted them, not in the Discord, but they're actually up in the, if you go to the Human Face Refs link at the top of chat, I think they're like the most recently pinned posts in that folder. I try to at least pin them on Pinterest. Yeah, so they're there on Pinterest. Okay. So I think I'm done with studies for today. Because I really need to go get my car and get my errands started. So this is what I accomplished today. A few studies. Probably not as many as I should have done, but you know what? It's more than I would have done without you guys, so I appreciate you being here. Let's go into the Discord and see what you guys got up to. Well, thanks, sharing. Yeah, I'll try to, I mean, it's mostly just the walk in the snow that I'm not looking forward to, but I'm glad I didn't try to do it before stream because I probably would have been back late. So the way it works is I'm going to go into the art gym section of the Discord and blink. Here we are. And again, you can type !Discord. It's also below the stream if you want the link. But I just go to the last thing that was shared. Oh, I forgot to check to make sure everything's work safe. I usually do that off stream, but everything looks work safe so far. So basically, I go to the last thing that we looked at on stream, which was my studies yesterday, which was the animal foot studies. And then anything that's been posted since then is going to be something new. So you basically, if you're still working right now, you've got until next week to finish your studies. Keep doing studies throughout the week. You don't have to do the stuff that I'm doing. You don't have to use my themes. You can do whatever you want. I am going to hopefully finish my calendar project at some point today if I can get into the studio and get everything else done. I don't know, there's just so much I have to do. But I'm going to have that posted in the Discord, so if you're a planner and you want to plan ahead, I'm going to try a different system, I think, too, for like getting the word out about what we're studying. But anyway, let's scroll down and look at these studies that folks did. We're going to start with Miss Art Rules, who's here in chat. Some hand studies as well. Was this your own hand, Miss Art Rules? Did you look at your own hand? That's awesome if you did. It kind of looks like you did. Really nice job paying attention to proportion. Really nice job with the knuckles here, especially. And the shape of the hand here is really excellent. And then we did some planes of the face studies. Nice. Really great planes of the face here. Yes, you did look at your own hand. That's awesome. You're going to learn so much quicker by having to draw from 3 dimensions and turn that into 2 dimensions. I hope you enjoy it. It's going to be a great practice. But these look great too. Great planes of the ear, planes of the mouth. Really nice job getting. These are really well done structured drawings, Miss Yvette. Well done. These look fantastic. Yeah, Buckaholic, you love the hands. Yeah, I do too. It's always fun how you can tell when somebody, I feel like after you've looked at enough drawings, you can kind of tell when somebody is using reference that they're observing with their eyes in real life versus like a 2-dimensional drawing that they're looking at, or a 2-dimensional photograph or something. But I think these are great. I hope to see more of them from you. Thank you so much for participating. And by the way, if anybody participates who streams, just let us know. We'll be happy to shout you out if that's the case. Or if you have like a social media link, you could also drop that in chat if we show your work on stream too. I try to reserve like self-promo stuff just for like people who participate in these like draw-alongs and stuff, or who raid in, just so it doesn't get like too out of hand. But yeah, if you have a link or something, feel free to drop it. These look great. I'm trying to find the appropriate emotes here. Thank you, thank you. And here we have one from Bakaholic. Oh, great nose studies. For a second, Bak, I thought this was like really long nose hair, and now I just realized it's top of a mustache, but that's very funny. Really nice that you did like different, you did a great job nailing the planes of the nose here. Like, you got this small tip of the nose versus this more button nose. And like the different shapes of the bridges are really nice planal studies. And I love how you did these little shape studies too. This is a great practice for anybody who's like, why are there random shapes? You're basically breaking down the pieces of the nose into shapes and practicing those shapes, like the volumes of those shapes. Really, really awesome. Hands are tricky to tackle, it's true. Hands are hard. I can't put my finger on why. On your own hand, you can't put your finger on it. Yeah, but Bach, these look great. Oh, really nice perspective on this one too. And this is a great example of why the planes of the face are helpful, because you can draw the perspective lines in too. And that can help you remind you of like how the muscles are attaching, how the skin is pulling, all that stuff. Noses are peculiar shapes. They are. Love this. These are great. Is this a portrait study too? Love this. Really nice. These look great, Bachholic. And feel free to drop a link if you'd like to, Bach. Since I know you don't stream at the moment. But thank you for participating either way. And here we have one from Amazing Fan 15. Amaze. Amazing as always. Living up to his name. Here is Amaze's stream link. If anyone's not following, oh sorry, Rue. I ninja'd you on accident. I have to remember to stop. I always worry that like you guys, the mods who are like trying to draw, I always worry that I'm like interrupting you to have you shout out. But thank you for attempting. Sorry that I ninja'd you. But yeah, if you guys aren't following Amazing Fan 15, or if you didn't know Amaze streams, make sure you give him a follow. He does great work. He's obviously very proficient at drawing humans. These are great. I really like the way you rendered the hair here. This is a very nice simplified version of these like very complex curls. Also just these are cool references. I don't know if I have these or not. If not, I'm gonna have to go find them. But great job with making these faces look very different. This is a good way to avoid same face syndrome, which you hear people talk about a lot when they're doing character art. Studying different face shapes and different planes of the faces, like this nose is a very different shape than this nose. These eyes and eyebrows are a very different shape than these eyes and eyebrows, and just like kind of keeping those things in mind is really helpful too, I think. But Amaze does great work. He does animation, comics, character art. Go give him a follow if you aren't already. Oh, and we have a baby. Little baby. Oh, great job with that. I feel like kid mouths are so hard for some reason. They have like such particular volumes, especially with like the chubby cheeks. Really great job. And the perspective on this is excellent too. This looks great. This looks great, Amaze. Very, very lovely work. Very lovely indeed. Chris Wright doing some stylized mouth studies, of course. Very, very impressive. This looks like the ones that I was trying to do and gave up on. These look great, Chris. Again, if you guys aren't following Chris Wright, we'll get you a shout out too here, Chris. I'll try not to ninja anybody this time. Thanks, Rue. Only able to do 2. No, you're great. It's great. Honestly, I hope it was helpful. I hope it was fun for you. I like the way you did the teeth too. Like just kind of drawing the spaces in between the teeth and letting them be implied. I feel like your graphic design aesthetic shows really strongly in these studies. Really nice job getting the gestures of these in these hard lines that you do. And I love how everything's always textured in everything that you do. It's like it's not a Chris Wright drawing if there's not some texture laid over the top. That's 2 more than exactly. And also hi Charlie's Dragon. I don't know if I actually said hi to you earlier or not, but thanks for being here. The teeth are really cool. Yeah, I'm excited to do character stuff if anybody wants to join in on those. I feel like I'm gonna learn a lot from you guys, honestly, because I know so many people who hang out here are character artists and do a lot of characters. These look fantastic, Chris. Thank you for doing studies. I appreciate that, and I hope it was helpful. I hope it warmed you up for the day. A day of arting, and hopefully not dealing with frustrating design personalities. And then we have Rue Ooh, look at the planes on this face. Rue really went all out. Like, this is almost like a muscle planes study, I feel like, in a way. But really nice. Like, do you guys see how just like drawing the contours? It's like a contour study of the human head. Really nicely done. Thank you for getting that shout out for Rue. These look great, Rue. Again, it's so clear that you are really comfortable drawing humans. Like, I can always tell when people draw a lot of people because there's just like a level of proficiency here that is incredible. If you guys are not following Yangularoo, you're missing out. Rue does awesome drawings, obviously, but also does a ton of animation on stream and is super fun to watch and hang out with. These are fantastic portrait studies. I like that you date yours study. I need to start writing the date down on mine too. I always forget to do that. It's a very smart idea to kind of keep track of progress for anybody who's new to art. Rue is next level, agreed. Rue is incredible, and Rue animates so quickly. Like, does all these animations on her stream that are just incredible to watch. Lone Strider, thank you so much for the follow. I really appreciate that. Where's the references? You don't have to share the references. Like, I can tell these are drawn from reference, but anybody who shares is welcome to share their references too. Just so that we can see, like, I mean, it is helpful sometimes to see like where you came from, but I understand this is a lot of faces. Maybe you just wanted to keep them separate. But these are fantastic, Rue. Love it. References, that's true. Rue also goes all over YouTube to find references, which I think is so smart. I need to do that. I need to pull a Rue and just like putting screaming face in there just because. But I need to go draw from YouTube because I do think there's probably like, because you're getting people in like a more natural, unposed state, you're also going to get a good variety of people types and body types and face types. Oh, I think you said you shared references on Discord. I used to do that, but I didn't know if anybody was really using them. So they're actually, Biscuit, they're actually at the top of chat. So if you click the link at the top of chat, human face refs, or you can always do ! Ref in my chat, and that'll pull up my Pinterest link. And that's pretty much where I keep all my photo refs, is on Pinterest. Yeah. Way easier to scrap. That's true. Actually, that's a really good point, Rue. Rue says it's way easier to not accidentally draw from generative AI if you use YouTube videos. That is a really good point, actually. That's a really good point. Now I want to do it even more. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. I know if you click on the Pinterest link in chat, and you go to the human section, in one part of the human section there is a study board, and you can click that, and there are a few YouTube channels that do like Croquis Cafe. There's another one I think it's Proco maybe even has some like live figure drawing videos. So it's like just a video of somebody holding poses. I feel like that's a really good way to do it too. And they're clothed, obviously, because it's YouTube. But that's a good stand-in as well for anybody who's looking for video references to like see somebody breathing and like how the shadows change as they breathe, or just the slight play of shadow from like cast shadows from the hair or something. There's just like things that you notice from a live model that you're not going to notice from a still image as much. Anyway, thank you for sharing, everybody. I'm going to post my studies down here below Rue's, and then that way if anybody else posts something, I'm just going to screenshot these ones. But yeah, that way if anyone else posts something, we'll just we'll look at it next time. So there's my face feature studies from today. Just some noses and some mouths. I skipped the heads. The heads are over there too, but that's fine. And then we're gonna go find somebody to raid into. Oops, I think we may be going into an ad. I don't know if it got snoozed or if I wasn't paying attention. Hopefully we're not going into an ad because we're about to raid out. If we do, I'll just do a quick scratch. But thank you all for being here. If you want to stick it out through the raid, you'll get some extra channel points. So I didn't realize that until recently, that you get a bunch of channel points if you hang out through a raid. So if you want some extra channel points for redeeming stuff here, feel free. I'm gonna raid. Oh, there's so many people on. Holy cow. Okay, I think we're gonna raid this person. Ooh, I'm gonna just scroll really fast. Oh my gosh! James B. Barrow, welcome in! Oh no, and we got an ad. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Ads. ads. Oh no, I'm not a pro streamer. This is why. This is why. I'm so sorry, James. Hold on. We will look at your art after the after the ads. We do 180 seconds of ads. Thank you for coming to look at my art. I want to see your art if you can hear me. Feel free to post a link in chat. We'll be right back after the ads. I'll do one more little study just because we have a very generous rate here. I'm so sorry. Sorry for ads. Sorry for ads. Feel free to post a link. That was just my own bad timing to your art. And then we'll get that pulled up. But yeah, welcome in for anyone who can hear my voice. My name is Casey. When we have ads, we just stretch during ads. I'll write that too. We just stretch during ads. So stretch with me if you want. So we're gonna do a little stretch break. I knew I should have paused those. It serves me right for thinking that I was gonna be a pro for once. Oh, you're back from the ads already, She-Wolf. Nice, nice. Well, mine still says we have like a minute of ads, so I'm just gonna quickly stretch. If anybody can hear the sound of my voice and you want to stretch with me, we take once an hour, we do ad breaks, and we stretch during that hour, get some water. It's just a good way to like try and be conscious of our bodies instead of just sitting and drawing all the time. But yeah, if you want to, we can unshrimp together. So like we have shrimp pose, and then you can just overstretch your back and like make a C shape. Oh, you're back from ads too, James. Awesome. If you want to post a link in chat to your art, I'll show that after the ads just to make sure that everybody can see it, because I think we have a few people still stuck in them. So sorry for the ads. That was just a bad timing on my part. But how was your stream? Since you can hear me, I hope it was well. Let me know what you got up to. But yeah, if anyone wants to stretch with me, we can unshrimp together. You just kind of like overcorrect your back by arching your back and pushing your shoulder blades together and hold for about 20 seconds. And you can also push your neck back if you want to kind of correct any hunching that might be happening. Yeah, share a link. Absolutely, for sure. Whatever you want to share is totally fine. James, I'm honored by the raid. Thank you so much for coming in. We were doing some studies today, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But then, yeah, after you've held your pose for 20 seconds, just relax. And when you kind of drop your shoulders and relax, it tends to put you in a more upright position. And the idea is like, if you just do that every time you notice yourself hunching, over time, it kind of cinches your back into a more upright position. And this, like sitting with your shoulders back, becomes more natural. So that's what we do during the ad breaks. I have like, looks like we have like 10 seconds left. Hopefully everybody's out of ads or almost out of ads. But welcome in, everybody. I'm gonna scroll up and say hi. And then if I see a link in chat from James, I will put it up on the screen. Let's see, who do we have? So welcome in, Raiders. Sorry that you guys got hit with ads. I apologize, that was my bad. But hey, Yak, how are you? Good to see you. Let's see, we have, if you're still here, thank you, by the way, if you stuck it out through those ads, I really apologize. The whole reason I do 180 seconds of ads is so that we can eliminate pre-rolls for people who just come in, but man, the timing on that was poor, so I apologize. But thank you for anyone who stuck it out. Game Shack, hello. She-Wolf Nita, hello. Eber, is that how you say it? Hello, hello. Hey, Kirsty Arts, how are you? It's good to see you. Welcome in, welcome in. A lot of cool people in chat. Zushi, hey, hey, good to see you too. Spudger Speakeasy, howdy, howdy. And of course, James Bibaro, thank you. If you guys aren't following James, by the way, we raided into James a while ago, I think. It's been a minute, but incredible artist here on Twitch. I'd love to see what you're working on, or any art you want to share. Casimuse, hello, hello. Welcome in, welcome in. Back from ads, perfect, perfect. I think I didn't miss anybody. Hold on. Designed by Keys, howdy. Welcome in. The face practice looks excellent. Oh, thank you. They are tricky, I know. So for anyone who hasn't been here before, my name is Casey. We do this thing called the Art Gym, Monday through Wednesday. And today I pick like a different theme every day, but nobody has to draw what I'm drawing if they don't want to. It's just stuff that I want to work on. So that's what I make myself draw. I tend to be more of a creature artist, but I'm trying to get better at humans and character art. So today was the human face. So I did like some quick Asaro head planar studies. We talked about the planes of the face quite a bit. And then I did some nose and mouth studies. I can do one more since we got a very, very generous raid here from Jim, but we also do, I'll show you a few others while I'm waiting on a link. We did yesterday animal feet. So I did various animal foot studies because that's also something I struggle with. For St. Patrick's Day, we did green things, figure drawing. So we do like a variety. It's not always the same. Here's planes and jets we did the other day. just because I don't draw vehicles very often. We do environmental studies, so here's a waterfall study. So this is all just stuff we've done in March. And I'm trying to improve in a lot of things, so that's why I try to keep it varied. But yeah, if anyone ever wants to draw along, we actually just did the sharing part. So at the end of the stream, anybody who draws along, if you post on my Discord or drop your, or you can drop a link in chat, or you can post on Blue Sky, on like comment on my post or something. However you want to share your work, whatever's easiest for you. But we'll share that. We share that on screen at the end of these sessions. So it's kind of like a group accountability session. That's why we call it the art gym, is it's like a workout. It's like how you have accountability buddies to like make sure you go to the gym. I need the same thing when I need to do studies. Like, I don't do studies without accountability, it turns out, really. I've done more studies since starting the art gym than I have like in my entire life combined. So that's what we do in the morning, and then in the afternoons, when I can get my studio stream fixed, we do other types of projects. So I'll work on my own art projects then, like sculpting. I do sculpting as well. So this is a Parasaurolophus I sculpted on stream and painted on stream. Chat got to pick the colors and name it and that kind of thing. This is Harvey Dent. Don't ask me why. But I also do like a comic called Drift, !Drift, if you want to read it. Stickers, cards. I do Christmas cards every year with different Colorado animal because I live in Colorado. Most of what I'm trying to do though is illustration. So I'm usually doing stuff like this, trying to do portfolio pieces to kind of help me get into the illustration industry with book covers, kids' books, graphic novels, that kind of thing. So I'm sort of like just beginning my art journey, and I'm just inviting whoever wants to hang out while I do it to hang out with me here. So thank you guys for coming. I apologize again for the ads that hit you right away. That's so unfortunate. But yeah, this is the kind of work I do. Oh, and we do creature art too, if you like creature design. Yeah, there's some critters. I do this thing called sea slug dragons. We'll look at a sea slug and design dragons. But let's see what James is doing. So if you guys haven't followed, ooh, I'm following you on Blue Sky, I'm pretty sure, but let me check. Yes, I am. This is fantastic. If you guys aren't following James B. Barrow, you can follow him on Blue Sky. Click that link to follow. But see, this is the kind of like amazing art I'm talking about. James does great stuff. Very, very nice stuff. You finished this yesterday. This is so cool. Is this a personal piece or is it for a certain project? I love this. It's Moon. Oh, is this a character that I should know that I just don't know? Oh, it's Rain World. Oh my gosh, Rue. I've been seeing stuff about this Rain World Art Month. There's a few artists doing this. I don't play the game, yeah. But I've seen a lot of people doing this Rain World Art Month thing. Fan Art Month, yeah, I've seen a few streamers doing this. This is pretty. I do feel like Rain World has very nice art direction. I've been told about it. I have not played it, but I do love your soft, like this warm light is a really nice contrast to this blue character. I don't know what these little glowing things are, but it makes me want to like play the game. Incredible game, yeah. That's what I keep hearing. It's on my list. I don't play games very often on Twitch. Usually if I do, it's like an art type game, but I feel like Rain World would like hit that art note because it's so beautifully art directed. Like it feels like Ori, or the other day we played Dordogne, which is like a watercolor game. It's like you're walking through a watercolor world. It's really pretty. So like every once in a while I'll play a game on Twitch, but it's pretty rare. Oh, this is so pretty. I can't stop looking at all the textures here in this little nest. Gorgeous, gorgeous stuff. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you again for the raid. I super appreciate it. Again, if anybody, since we got you that shout out, but I think there was an ad going at the time, if anyone's not following James B. Barrow, make sure that you correct that by clicking. If there's a heart that popped up, click that. If not, click that link and go give a follow. Don't miss out. Fantastic artist here on Twitch. Thank you so much for raiding in. Since we just got a very generous raid, I'm going to do one more little study. We're actually kind of wrapping up here in a little bit myself. My car has been in the shop for over a week, and I just got informed that it's done, and I would like to go pick it up so that I can get to the studio, because I miss going to the studio. But we'll do one more little study here. Oh no, thank you for raiding in, absolutely. My honor to share your work. Let's do an eye study, really. I haven't done that part of the face today. Did nose, we did mouth. I'm gonna do some eyes. If anyone wants to draw with me, it's not too late. You can click the link at the top of chat. And if you want, pretty much anybody who does any studies, if you want to drop them in the Discord in the art share, or excuse me, the art gym section, we'll basically look at it at the end of the next art gym. So everybody who wants to do a study, if you want to be a part of the accountability group, drop your studies in there. We're all here to learn together and to, as I like to say, get the bad drawings out. It's kind of the motto around here. It's the idea is to warm up by getting the bad drawings out of the way so you can get to the more proficient stuff later in the day, but also just to practice. Like, just by practicing it takes like 1,000 bad drawings to make a good drawing, right? Or a good drawing. Bad drawing, you know, those are subjective terms, but yeah, the idea is just to get the bad stuff out so that we can get to the good stuff faster. So let me find, I have like an eye page that I saved somewhere in here, I thought. Ooh, this one's like eye expressions. That's pretty good. Let's do... Ooh, I like this one because it has like older eyes. Yeah, let's do some older eyes. There's a lot more like wrinkles and textures and stuff to look at with this. I like that this one guy is like holding up his eyes. That's really funny. Oh, these are like medical. Interesting. Yeah, I'm gonna do this one. I like the texture here. Yeah, this is some kind of like a reference from a doctor's office or something, but it turns out inadvertently to be a great eye reference too. So I'm gonna do these, I think. Oh, they're small. Why are they so small? These are a lot smaller than I thought they would be. Oh no, my tab crashed. This has been happening a lot with Firefox. Has anyone else had this issue with Firefox tabs crashing? I think this is part of what's making my computer crash at the studio also. Oh, here's a good one. Hopefully it just doesn't make my stream crash. That's always a bad sign. There we go, these are a little bigger. Alright, I'm gonna put these over here and just kind of scatter these. Alright, we're gonna do some quick eye studies and then I will probably have to go get my car. But eyes are pretty fast to draw, I feel like. People draw eyes from like the time they're little. You've had a YouTube tab crash. I've never really had very often tabs crashing, but lately I feel like Firefox has been crashing a lot. Definitely at the studio, because usually that's like it's like the harbinger of a stream crash or a PC crash when I'm streaming. Is first I'll have a Firefox tab will crash, and then everything kind of gets really slow and laggy and freezes, and then I'll have my whole PC will crash while streaming. It only happens while I'm streaming, and so I kind of wonder if it's not something to do with Firefox too. I think it's just like a multi-pronged issue that I gotta figure out, which is another reason why I'm excited to get back to the studio. I'm excited to have my car back so that I can actually figure some of this out and get the afternoon streams going again. Yeah, I feel like eyes are a good one to do if you need to do a quick study, because most people spend a lot of time looking at eyes, and so these are like really familiar shapes to us. Sounds like a RAM issue. Ungoy, yeah, I'm kind of leaning toward that. Also, hi Ungoy, how are you? It sounds similar to your crashing. Oh, really? Yeah, thank you for lurking, James. Thank you so much again for coming in. I really appreciate the raid. And yeah, thanks for sharing your beautiful art. Hope you have a good rest of your day or your night, whatever your time zone, whatever it is for you. Sorry, my computer's gonna make a sound. It's not your computer, it's my computer. Yeah, that was me. I'm trying to close stuff so nothing crashes. I have a lot of things open. I get a little paranoid. I've had so many issues. But yeah, if you are wanting to do some studies, one thing we talk about a lot during the art gym is doing big shapes. So try and do your big shapes first before you go into details. So like don't start by like doing line heavy like detail work and just like drawing like this. Like this is a good way to like not enjoy your image, because you're gonna end up like having weird proportions and things aren't gonna line up because you've jumped into details before you have your structures. So do just a quick light sketch of just like the big shapes you notice, the planes that you notice, right? And that's gonna help you a lot. If you're newer to drawing, that's a hard habit to get into. It's hard even for me, and I've been drawing for a long time because I have some bad habits I'm trying to break. It's part of why I do the art gym. It's because I wanna improve upon bad habits, you know? Your stomach hurts? Oh, I'm sorry, young boy. I hope it feels better. That's a bummer. Feel better soon. Your PC has 16 gigs of RAM, but your PC says that the Open YouTube page takes up more and more RAM the longer it's open. That's weird. Yeah, I try not to use Chrome, and I try not to have YouTube on. And I pause all my stream previews when I'm streaming. Like when it's in my mod view or in like whatever stream thing I'm looking at, I keep them all paused. So I'm trying to limit the amount of RAM they're using. But I have 32 gigs of RAM on my PC. Like that should be more than enough, I feel like. So I also think, I'm starting to think that it is kind of a RAM issue as well though. Or I think it could also be like a motherboard and RAM compatibility issue. I need to check into my RAM BIOS and see if there's been an update, or I mean my computer BIOS, and see if there's been an update that can make it more compatible. I'm not sure, but there's just a lot of research I need to do, and I haven't had time to do it, and I haven't been able to get to the studio to do it because I haven't had a car. And last weekend I was at a convention, so it's just been like weeks of being busy or unable to do it for some reason, so. You didn't care, floating. It's interesting because like even with just the eyes, I can figure out what the expressions are. You know, like I think this is somebody smiling because you've got the little smile lines. Chrome and Firefox aren't especially good. Oh, really? Firefox is bad for it too. That's interesting. Part of the reason I switched to Firefox is because I thought it was going to be a better fit. If there's another browser I should be using, like I don't want to use Chrome, I don't want to use Microsoft Edge. I'm on a PC, so I can't use any of the other browsers. I thought Firefox was supposed to be the best one. Is there something else people are using these days? Let me know. I know Firefox also has pretty good security and privacy, which is part of why I like it too. Because you don't have to like sign in to anything to use it. And you can disable a lot of stuff. But that's interesting. I didn't know that Firefox was a known RAM hog. Maybe I do just need more RAM. It's just annoying because you would think 2 sticks, like, you would think 32 gigs of RAM would be plenty. But apparently it's not enough for the modern PC user. This PC I think only has 16, and it does fine, and it's 10 years old. It's like running an i7, Intel i7 from 2015. Like, I don't understand. I don't understand why my old computer has such an easier time than my brand new one that has twice as much of everything. You use Firefox, you only have Chrome as a reserve. Same. The only other browser I'll use is LibreWolf. LibreWolf? I've never heard of it. Is that part of the Libre, like, free alternative to Microsoft Office suite? Or is that just a coincidence that they both have Libre? Libre? I don't know how you say it. I think it's Libre. I will look into that one, thank you. Open source copy of Firefox without the corporate tracking. Oh, I didn't realize there was a tracking thing with Firefox. I thought it was free of those things. Well, shows what I know. It's part of why I was using it. Cool. Well, I will look into that. Thank you for the recommendation. Maybe it's less of a resource hog because it's not tracking anything. There we go. Got a little eyes study in here in honor of the raid. You guys surprised me, much like this. Firefox is funded by Google. Is it really? That's interesting. Even though it's a direct competitor to Google Chrome. Firefox had to add it a few years ago and Google bought into them. Oh, supposedly so Chrome doesn't get any monopoly lawsuits. Huh. I did not know that. Well, the more you know. Okay. Well, there's my quick little study there. Thank you again for that raid, James. I am gonna go get my car now, though, I think. So I think that's all she wrote for today. A couple of eye studies. I guess I'll screenshot this one since I now have more. Oh wait, I can get all of them in at a bigger resolution here. Perfect. Hey Snuxy. I guess not quite. Is there a way to drop some of these extra toolbars? And I don't know enough. Show status bar. There we go. Get rid of the status bar and I can actually screenshot most of it. Okay, that's plenty. Since Google funded Firefox, the quality has gone down. Bummer. That's a bummer to hear, because Firefox is one that I trusted for a lot of the reasons that I mentioned. Okay, there we go. My studies for today. Well, thank you all for being here. I'm gonna look into Library Wolf. Thank you for that recommendation. Very cool. And thank you to anybody who hung out through the raid. Again, I apologize that folks got smacked with ads as soon as you got here. That's never my intention. That shouldn't happen every time because we do pre-roll elimination ads. You guys just got here right before those started because we put them all together. But I am gonna go find somebody who is streaming. Doing some work safe art typically is my preference. Oh, thank you. Thank you for the luck with the car. Yeah. I think it should be all good. I'm gonna go pick it up. I have to go catch a bus to get it. But let's see who's streaming. I am going to go find a WorkSafe artist. Somebody, I thought I saw somebody on a second ago that I was gonna raid. Where did they go? Are they still streaming or maybe they stopped? Hey Siren, how are you? It's good to see ya. Who were we about to raid? There was somebody working on some art. Very WorkSafe, very pretty. And I think they were also doing some studies. Oh, they may have stopped streaming. They may not be on anymore. Oh my gosh! Another raid! My goodness! Oh my gosh, with 38 viewers! Welcome in, Impulsive Creature. Well, good news for you. There's no ads coming up this time to hurt anybody. Impulsive Creature, by the way, I was hanging out on Impulsive Creature's stream this morning. Incredible sculptor. You guys have got to go follow if you aren't already. Oh, thanks, Amaze. If you have any art you want to share, I would actually love to show off your sculpting to folks here in chat. So everybody look up for a second, because you're gonna want to see or if you have to read and run, I might just pull up like a I might just pull up an image. Yeah, I know, right, Ungoy? I know. It's like everybody knows. But no, thank you so much for bringing your community here. That was really sweet of you. He was doing a really, really cool Sasquatch sculpt. Really great details, great anatomy. I would love to show off some work. Or if you just want to drop a link, if you got to run, that's okay too. But welcome into everybody who is new. My name is Casey. I'm an illustrator. I do sculpt sometimes. In fact, here I'll show you a sculpture. I think we were talking about this earlier, Impulsive Creature. Can I just call you Creature? Is that okay? Here is a sculpture I did on stream relatively recently. It's a Parasaurolophus, my favorite dinosaur. I usually do sculpting on the last afternoon stream of the month. But right now my studio PC is broken, so that's where I have to stream in the afternoons, and I have to get it fixed first. But if you like sculpting, this is the kind of sculpting that I tend to do as Creature Sculpt. Jack of all trades, yeah. Oh yeah, drop an Insta link. Absolutely, I'd love to show off some of your work. If you ever raid, or if anybody ever raids, I like to show off the art. We do art tags here on my channel. I know not every art streamer does that, which is fine, but I really like see what people are working on. As long as it's work safe, I'm happy to show it on screen here. Casey of all trades, yeah. Yeah, but links are open, you don't need a permission or anything, so as long, yeah, drop it whenever. But hi to everybody who's not been here before while I'm waiting on that link. Like I said, my name is Casey. Right now we're doing the art gym, which is a study session. I was doing like the human face. I'm trying to get better at character art, human stuff, like drawing people more comfortable, more excited drawing people. And I'm not super great at it, so this is why we call it the art gym. It's kind of like I need accountability to go to the gym, basically, and this is the art version of the gym. But we're here to get the bad drawings out, more or less, so that's kind of the motto. But yeah, it's not always human stuff, and sorry for anybody who already sat through this. We showed some of these earlier, but like I do human like figure drawing days, that kind of thing, but we also do like vehicles, like here's a planes and jets one we did earlier this month. Here's a waterfall study. Like these are all just from this month, and we do these Monday through Wednesday, so there's a different theme every day. It just kind of depends on how I'm feeling. I do have a calendar that I'll post on my Discord if I can ever get it updated, and if anyone has a planner, you can plan ahead for it. And I try to keep it posted on like what we're working on. But like sometimes we just do goofy stuff, like for St. Patty's Day we did things that are green, you know, for studies. But anyone is welcome to participate, and you can always drop your studies in the Discord, and then we'll show it on screen at the end of the art gym, which we just finished doing a few minutes ago. But today I was doing, you know, the human face. So I just did like planes of the face, parts of the face, that kind of thing. But in the afternoons, oh, thank you for that follow. I really appreciate that. Fi, thank you. I tend to do digital illustration primarily. So I do sculpt. I do have a comic that I'm working on. These are kind of older pages. Do some dinosaurs, do some cards, but primarily what you'll see in the afternoons, if I can ever get my computer fixed at my studio, is digital illustration for like kids books, book covers, graphic novels, that kind of stuff is kind of my goal. So I do a little bit of variety here. So if you like variety art streamers, I kind of ramble, so prepare yourself for rambling. If you do hang out here, I apologize. I tend to ramble. We talk about art a lot. St. Casey's Day, oh my gosh, I'm going. Yeah, I also do creature design. So we do sea slug dragon days, which are a lot of fun. I'll look at a sea slug and make a dragon based off of it. So it's always a good time. Here's a link. Perfect. So let's look at impulsive creature. Hopefully you guys haven't looked away yet, because you're going to want to see impulsive creature stuff. Oh good, I am following. Excellent. Like, incredible sculptor. Here's the one that I think that you were working on today, right? It looks like it. Yeah. At least I think it is. Is this the one? I think this looks similar to the one that you were at the butt. Funny. Thank you for that, by the way. But yeah, this is the type of sculpting that you can catch on Impulsive Creatures stream, sculpting a Sasquatch. If you haven't already followed Impulsive Creature, make sure that you do. Incredible sculptor that you can actually watch work. And these are all like, you know, like shorts and scenes from the sculpting process. It's super interesting. I love watching sculptors work. It always makes me want to sculpt. I was hanging out on his stream this morning and like really wanting to sculpt because I was watching him do all this stuff. It's such a cool process. So make sure you're following if you aren't already. Just an incredible sculptor here on Twitch. And here's some, it looks like finished work, which is just like mind-blowing, honestly. This is wild. Made using CNOT Bush's tutorials. Nice. Like these are crazy good. I wish my sculpting is nowhere near on this level of intricacy. And maybe one day if I have more time. This is fantastic. Like sculpting whole scenes like this, I just can't even. Wild. So wild. But yeah, make sure you guys go follow if you aren't already. This is your first Bigfoot. Nice. That's a Sasquatch. Perfect. Fi says, or is it Fifi? Says they're studying to do portraits as well. That's awesome. Hey, Blind Coyote Art. How are you? Good to see you. Thanks for popping in. Yeah, incredible work. Thank you so much for the raid. I really appreciate that, and I hope you stream it well. It's cool that you got a nice raid of like 30 people. That's awesome. Hope you had fun, and I'm glad to see you streaming on Twitch. Hopefully more people will follow you. I really think you all should. So if you can hear the sound of my voice, And if you like watching sculptors, if you like chatting with sculptors, Creature is super nice and very fun to hang out and watch work. So if you like what you see here, go follow Impulsive Creature. Incredible stuff. And here's my derpy dragons. Anyway, yeah, so that's what we were up to today. Unfortunately, I do need to go pick my car up out of the shop, so I'm gonna have to probably raid and run here, or myself. But this is what we were working on today. I can do one more little eye, just in honor of the raid, since eyes are pretty fast. But then we are too actually going to be raiding soon. If anybody who came in on the raid is curious to see my art, there's on my socials if you want them. I'm sure somebody already posted these. And there's my Discord if you want to participate in the art gym or just hang out in between streams. Yeah, no, thank you for sharing your work, and thank you again for reading in. I'm honored. I'm honored. Your work is incredible, so it means a lot. Hopefully some people went and checked out your work. But yeah, when we do the art gym stuff, we tend to talk about like doing shapes before details. Something that I'm trying to break. I have a bad habit of doing. Actually, I want to do these eyes because they're very different. So when I say shapes, I'm basically thinking about like the human skull, right? Like I'm drawing the orbitals, right? The orbital socket, like the orbital bone. Basically, it's this part. Oops, this part right here. If you're not familiar with the human skull, definitely draw some skulls. That's going to help you figure out what you're actually drawing. What's going on underneath the skin is going to be helpful. I don't know who these eyes are, to be honest. I just found them on Pinterest. So I have no idea. But yeah, I try to draw the big shapes and kind of work on proportion before I jump into the details. So I'm just loosely sketching, and I did the same thing with like the mouth, the nose. You just want to kind of loosely get your shapes in before you jump in. I'm trying to break a bad habit that I have of jumping into details too fast. And another trick you can do is to try and make sure your eyes are looking at your reference more than you're drawing as much as possible. So like as I'm working, my eyes are constantly flicking over to the reference. If you're able to draw from actual observation, like set up a mirror, draw your own eyes, you know, draw your own face. Draw your hand. Like everyone, we made this joke the other day, but everyone always complains about how hard hands are to draw, but we're all walking around with references attached to our bodies, you know? Stop what you're doing, rotate your hand into a few positions, and draw it. Yeah, I know, Maze. I'm going fast, but I hate to just like leave right after we get a raid. If it happens again, I'll have to just raid, but I'm very honored, and I wanna hang out a little bit with the raiders to say thank you for hanging out through the raid. And I'm so glad that nobody in this raid got hit with ads, at least. Poor James Barhow's group got smacked right in the face as soon as they got here. Felt so bad. But yeah, so anyway, if you want to hang out with me doing these studies, we do them Monday through Wednesday right now. Unfortunately, I'm not a full-time artist. I do have a day job Thursday through Saturday, so I'm only able to stream Monday through Wednesdays, and right now I'm only streaming in the morning, but hopefully soon we'll be back to doing afternoon streams where I work on more project-based stuff. And Amaze has things to do. I always tell Amaze does not have that excuse. Alright, don't make that excuse for him, Ungoy. I tell him all the time you do not have to stay. No one is ever required to be here, including mods. So I will not be pressured by somebody else's lack of boundaries. That's not my responsibility. Don't put that evil on me. I appreciate the help, but I do not want anyone to feel forced to be here. If you got stuff to do, please go do it. I don't expect anyone's attendance. I'm a full-time artist. I wish. One day. I used to be. It's pretty stressful. We'll see. Maybe I'll be able to get back into it. But yeah, so this is just like a quick... I'm just kind of trying to focus on the values and the planes. But if anybody ever wants to draw along, you can always post your studies in the warm-ups, or excuse me, it used to be the warm-up section. It's now the art gym section, just for clarity. But yeah, feel free to post your studies in there, and we will look at it on Monday when I do the next art gym stream. Hopefully I will have a schedule posted soon. I just gotta go get my car so I can get to the studio. So save. I do at least 40 hours being an artist. Do I? I don't know. Define being an artist. I feel like outside of streams, sometimes I don't hardly draw at all. So I feel like I'm mostly just doing like admin stuff with my YouTube channel and business stuff. Right now, tax season, I'm like deep in the middle of tax season. But I do feel like I'm trying to squeeze a full-time job into 3 days a week, if that's what you mean. And then I do it on after my shifts at my day job here at home as well. So I do put in the hours, but it's different than like having the whole week to just do art, you know? Oh, thank you. That's really kind, Sedulos. I appreciate that follow, seriously. That means a lot that anybody would follow or lurk or chat or raid. Like, super, super appreciate that. And on that note, let's see if I can run my credits without it lagging. Not really. We're gonna close things and see if that helps. My computer's about to make a noise, so please don't freak out. It was my computer, not yours. Did that help the lag at all? Kinda, not really. Made it worse somehow. That's exciting. Cool. Not sure why that got worse, but we are gonna find somebody who is streaming, doing some work safe art. Raid Kasem. So I did raid Kasem recently. I also try not to take raid recommendations just because I don't want people to get their feelings hurt if I don't accept it, and I don't know. But I will raid him again eventually. I try to keep it pretty varied so that we're not raiding the same people all the time. Because I also want you guys to find new artists. Like, I really enjoy how many awesome artists there are on Twitch, and I would love to point people in the direction of some cool ones. I was gonna raid Melemony, but I don't know if Melemony is still on. Nope, I think she ended stream. Okay. Let's see. Who is on at this moment? Okay, we raided Eric the other day. Trying to find someone new. They're not doing art. They are doing music. They are doing games. No afternoon stream today on Gwei. I still haven't had time to fix... I was just talking about this earlier. I haven't been in the studio in over a week and a half. I haven't had time to fix the issues. So nothing has changed at the studio. The internet's still messing up. The PC still crashes. The OBS still crashes. So I've got to dedicate some time in the next week. Hopefully I can find it between taxes and everything else I have to do. But hopefully I can find the time to actually do that. Okay, let's see. That person's playing a game now. Shoot. I'm trying to find work safe art. We may have to raid somebody who's not necessarily work safe, but whose art that I really enjoy. So just, you know, fair warning if we do end up doing that. Yeah, thank you. Have a great day too, Creature. Thank you so much for being here. Just out of curiosity, when did we last raid Kasem? I want to say it was like 2 weeks ago. I wish the little raid thing would like tell me the days that I raided people, because I don't have the mental capacity to actually write that down. We could raid this person. They're doing a sketchathon. They're quite the industry pro. I'm a little intimidated to raid them, to be honest. I don't know if they're always work safe, but I have been lurking on their streams sometimes, and they're pretty cool. Pretty cool art. I think you guys will really like the art. Yeah, you know what? Let's do that. Let's do that. So we're gonna raid. I don't think we've ever raided them before. They're doing a sketchathon, so if anyone's feeling generous and wants to hang out, I'm sure they will appreciate it. It doesn't look like I've raided them before. Every time I hang out, though, I will be aware. So we're gonna raid Evan Blair Art. He's doing some really cool sketches right now. Usually what he's working on is work safe / like Magic the Gathering card game fantasy art style stuff. He does a lot of commissions. Just sometimes there may be some cursing, so if you're watching with kids, just be aware. But like I said, the stuff on screen should be usually pretty fine. I haven't really had any issues every time I've lurked. Sometimes the conversation might be a little skewed toward older audiences, so just be aware of that. But we're gonna go ahead and raid into Evan Blair Art, because I think his art's really cool. He does a lot of like advice. He's an actual industry pro. Hopefully he doesn't ask to see my terrible sketches. But thank you again, man, for everybody being here. My gosh, this has been really, really nice to hang out with you all. Thank you to everybody showing up on the credits screen here. Thank you for the subs today. Thank you for the resubs. Thank you for the cheers. Like, you guys are so kind. I really can't tell you how much I appreciate the support. My moderators, you guys are amazing. Thank you so much for being here. Oh, Claire popped in, and I don't think I said hi. Claire, if you're still here, thank you for being here. And thank you for those raids to James B. Barrow, Impulsive Creature, and Donut Yue. Thank you. I seriously appreciate it. And thank you to all of the patrons showing up here in the chat. Patrons, your letters are in the mail if you are at the mail tier, the art in the mail tier. But it's not too late if anybody wants some art in the mail. I do this every month for certain tiers on my Patreon. If you want to check that out, there's the link in chat. But we're actually going to raid out now, guys. Even if I get a raid, they're just going to have to come along. If you want to hang out with me in between streams, there's the Discord. Let's go say hi to Evan, and I'll see you over there.